Well, hello everybody. This is really cool. It's been a hot minute since we've been streaming at all. We have a 1.5-year-old son, joy of our life. It's been absolutely awesome, but our time schedule is just absolutely screwed up. But today what we're gonna do is we're gonna celebrate 5,000 subscribers. It's unreal. Some of the people on tonight were there when we had like 10, which is crazy, you know, and it was just kind of a place for us to dump Star Wars videos that we made, and yeah, never expected this. We have, I don't know if I said it, we have giveaways though, of quite a few different things that'll be really cool. We're going to talk Attack of the Clones and just dive into the deep end. It's going to be fun. But before all of that, we wanted to do kind of a little update on some things. So,
channel update.
Yeah, you know, we never expected to make any money at all, but then once things started growing, we're like, hey, monetization is actually kind of like,
we're not going to deny it.
Yeah, it's in our sights, and like, man, this will be really cool. And so anyway, we get the green light from YouTube to apply for monetization, and they deny us, and they had a whole bunch of reasonings for that, basically saying we're stealing people's content. And so we made a video, we appealed it, and within hours
It was denied.
they shut it down, and they denied it. Yeah, exactly. So it, you know, we're
gonna keep talking about Star Wars.
Exactly. And it doesn't actually change anything. We didn't start for the money, and that's not going to stop us, you know. So we're just going to keep making videos. We're going to keep doing streams. If anything, YouTube, we're actually going to amp it up, you know, like forget you guys. But with that, we want to show us, just because a lot of people had actually been asking us about memberships and super chats and things.
They look at our sub count and try to super chat us and
yeah, so if you came here tonight, I'm gonna turn your mic around. Maybe we'll hear you.
Yep, that's much better.
So what I'm gonna share is this. Since we can't go through YouTube, we did start a Patreon, and purely what this is for is to just help support giveaways that we have coming up. Right now it's just out of our paycheck, and in addition to that, it's just going to add cool things to the Discord server. Since we can't do anything financially ever on our channel, we're going to build out a website. We're going to do some things to where we can kind of decentralize some things. And so there's all sorts of things. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time on this, but it's patreon.com/2StarWarsNerds, anywhere from $1 a month, $25 a month. And for the first week, we're sending out stickers to every single person who signs up, and you guys can check that out on your own. There's some hopefully cool stuff there, but understand this, we're never putting our content behind like a paywall.
That's right.
You know, we don't want to be like, hey, you saw 50% of our video, now pay to see the rest. You know, it's never like that. This is just to really help just continue doing cool giveaways. And so if you're so inclined, do that. You can always hop in the Discord too. But with that, that's enough about all of that stuff. I'm going to add some amazing people to the stream. How's it going, everybody?
Howdy, howdy.
Hey.
Hello. Yeah, let's see this. I have some things to show you. I'm waiting to see if anybody here.
He's been waiting for this.
I have been waiting. So
get ready, y'all.
I don't think it was a rat or
Hello there.
General Kenobi. Attack Kenobi.
There we go.
There you go.
And copyright strike.
Love it. Beautiful.
I'm surprised the stream just didn't get pulled down and our channel striked. And we're just done forever. I have 2 more that are new and increasingly strange that I may just hold off on.
Do I need to take off my headphones before that, or?
No,
No, I don't want to break the new
Yay!
one.
Matt Cave.
Mr.
Hello.
Matt Cave.
Hi,
Let me
everybody.
shift. How is this?
Whoa,
oh, you can't
that's not
even.
gonna work.
You
Wow.
can't even see us. There we go. That works.
That's gonna work.
So for Attack of the Clones, we have some really cool things to talk about tonight. Hopefully cool. But I just want to hear from you guys. Like, if there's a stream or like a conversation on Attack of the Clones, unless you're in a certain people group, it seems like there's kind of a really negative connotation for Attack of the Clones. So I'll start with the grunting man.
Yeah, I hear some grunting. Who was that?
Who's grunting?
That was my mustachio
That was
brother.
X-Wing.
But I just love this open-ended question. Then we'll get into the stuff. But why Attack of the Clones?
20 years, baby.
X, you can start.
What's the question? Why?
Yeah. Why
Get
do
him
you
off
like
the
it so
panel.
much?
You come on other people's show.
Yeah, you know what? Just because of that.
Oh, wow.
I should
Here.
have clicked leave studio right there. Just like, no, fine.
But yeah, why do you like Attack of the Clones so much?
I think for me, I mean, you and I are both audio guys, and like something I love so much from both The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones is the sound in there. And for me, just if nothing else, if Attack of the Clones was nothing else but the battle on Geonosis, that would have been a fine movie for me. I would have been okay. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Just so much of what we love about the prequels in that era is the clones, the battle on Geonosis, seeing so many Jedi all together at one time, like getting Dooku and Yoda fighting. Just that whole section of the movie defines the prequels for me. For some reason, I don't know. We get to see. I just think of Sir Alec Guinness saying those two little words in A New Hope, and like we got all that out of it.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I love it so much.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Feel free to jump in, anybody. Don't wait for me to call on you.
Yeah, I got some thoughts. Just like X-Wing said, it was literally the first appearance of the Clone Wars, and then what we get afterwards. But in terms of the movie itself, definitely some highlights is Anakin. I mean, we already know. I could talk about Anakin through our life and lore. And just how underrated he is in Attack of the Clones, and just really showing his struggle to the dark side in that movie, but also Padme, and just how underrated she really was in Attack of the Clones, and I think that's like really where she gets to shine. Where in Revenge of the Sith, she didn't have as much to do, and a lot of her scenes were cut. But and then Tamara Morrison, man. Casting him for Jango Fett, like literally perfection. And even though he gets cut short, it's still awesome to have him in the movie and just really beginning the iconicness of clone troopers that we get to see later on. And yeah, just Battle of Geonosis, so many Jedi fighting at once. Count Dooku, even though some people have favorite Sith like Maul and Vader, Dooku is still a really interesting character, and definitely Dooku Jedi Lost. That's a great book that expands his character. But just so much from Attack of the Clones. Really, just it starts so many great things that we get in Star Wars. So.
It's the second best Star Wars movie of all time, and I will not elaborate.
You will not elaborate?
I will not elaborate. I feel like I don't need to say anything more.
Mic drop.
You know.
Okay.
Nah, but for real, I don't know. I just think Attack of the Clones is just like one of those movies that's like a little too underrated. Like it gets a little too much crap. Because like for one, it has great cinematography. I mean, Anakin, Padme, just everything. Obi-Wan, like it's such a good movie. I only have one gripe with it, but I'll get into that later.
I'm just curious now.
Much foreshadowing.
All right.
You need to do your own streams where you just create so much tension in what you say.
And then move on.
Everyone's like already at their screen. What does he mean? What is he
You
talking
gotta
about?
subscribe to get the next video. But I don't
let us know your gripe.
I'm not
Lay it on us.
There's just one part of the movie that kind of bothers me a bit because like I thought it through, and I still think about this, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because beginning of the movie, Palpatine wants Padme dead, and so he asks Count Dooku to go kill Padme, but Count Dooku doesn't want to do it himself, so he asks Jango to go kill Padme. But for some reason, Jango hires his shapeshifter friend to go kill Padme. But the shapeshifter doesn't want to do it. So the shapeshifter sends robots to go kill Padme. But the robot doesn't even want to do it. So it sends bugs to go kill Padme. And you know what? Obi-Wan then jumps out the window after this robot. And I think everything just, like, I love that speeder chase scene. Such a great scene. But once all this transpires, Jango actually has a chance to go kill Padme. He has an open window to go kill her, but instead he goes out of his way to kill the person he hired to assassinate her in the first place. And I don't even know what was the point of having a shapeshifter, because you think she'd go in the club and shapeshift, but she just doesn't. She just sneaks up on Obi-Wan, and like you think that'd be kind of important, but it's not. She just doesn't shapeshift, but like she's supposed to be this.
Tell us how you really feel, though. I mean, how do you really feel?
It aggravates me, Bran. It aggravates me.
It's almost like he's never thought about this.
But other than that, perfect movie, 10 out of 10.
I really like your
say all that.
So I thought the
That's perfect.
I'll get my popcorn real quick. Hold on.
All right, I want to hear rebuttals to that.
Rebuttals.
Well,
I mean, is everybody just like, nope, he's absolutely right?
I will say that George Lucas was a big fan of older movies, and so he was purposely, with that part, was doing something that happened in other movies. I don't remember the exact examples that were used, but I'm pretty sure one of them was a James Bond movie where the spy throws a snake into the vent when he could just easily go and kill him, but he lets the snake go in while he's in the shower so the snake can bite him. So it was supposed to be that. What was the thing that he was trying to play on. And he loves doing that throughout all of his movies, is making homages to older films.
And I'd say it's also one of these things. I mean, technically, with the Jedi and the Sith, in most fights, like especially if they're fighting a non-Force user, like especially Sith, they could just literally like snap someone's neck. But like for the sake of like plot armor or like story, obviously they don't do that always. I don't know. It's just one of these things. I mean, it wouldn't be an interesting movie. It was just like Zack bam dead. I mean,
yeah. Also, why is Obi-Wan the one who jumps out the window? Like he's supposed to be the really smart, well-kept master, when Anakin is supposed to be the rash Padawan who literally confessed his love for Padme like 10 seconds prior. Well, Obi-Wan is the one who jumps out the window.
It's that one line by Alec Guinness where he says that he used to be like Anakin when he was young, and they're like, okay, we need to make him jump out of a window at least once.
If that droid moved 10 centimeters further, he'd be dead.
And Anakin also just needed to pick out a speeder that he liked, so.
Right.
Yeah. No, there's definitely some plot things in the film that you could like really like go to every detail and wonder like, why is it like this? But number one, I like to say Palpatine like just thinks things really, really thorough so that it can be the furthest thing connected to him. So that's why sometimes things can be a little bit complicated.
It would make more sense if he didn't predict the future, because there's no way he could have predicted all of that. And then
no, I don't think
he wants Padme dead, but then he doesn't because he wants Anakin to fall in love with her. But then he wants her dead again.
He literally typed out an entire essay of what to do, and he's like, "Do it this exact way. If you don't, then yeah, you're dead."
Other than that, like that's literally my only problem with the film. Like I'm serious. I have no other
really
problems.
the only.
That's
my only problem.
Just the plot. Everything but
I just hated the plot. The rest of the movie was awesome.
Second favorite Star Wars movie of all time.
The plot
just the plot really falls short for me.
But you know, even like that, you know,
plot is overrated anyway. So I've heard.
I don't think
Ryan
story's
Johnson.
that important.
Other than the Star Warsy bits, I really liked it as a film.
Exactly.
You gotta subvert expectations.
Oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah, honestly, now that I think about it, I don't even think I like Attack of the Clones that much.
You know, honestly, now that I think about it.
Can you imagine if we just ended and we're like, this movie actually sucks?
Trivia's back on, everybody. We'll see you over there.
I actually ended up getting like 2 awesome experiences with that movie when it came out. Was when it first came out in theaters in my area, our first digital theater opened. And one of the first movies to play at it was Attack of the Clones.
Nice.
So that was incredible to see. And then when it was coming out on DVD, at the time I was working at a Blockbuster. And we had a policy that employees could take home new releases before the release date as long as we had it in stock.
Oh, shit.
And I had Attack of the Clones in my house 2 weeks before it released.
Nice.
That's
In that case, you're just made of nostalgia. Like, you know,
Yeah.
Dirge has like a bunch of like. If Dirge was just nostalgia, that would be you.
Yeah.
That was a nice reference, man. I feel like you've been sitting on that for a long time.
He was just waiting for Aiden to finish.
I was trying to bring the vibe back up after Aiden just trashed Attack of the Clones for 45 minutes.
Hold on, I just don't like that one scene. That's all I said.
Just the first half
Nothing
of the
else.
movie. After that,
I'm
it's
not-
great.
Makes me want to be don't even.
First act sucked. Everything else.
It's only like the first 20 minutes. That's it.
That's a
You know,
significant portion
20
of the
minutes,
movie.
20 minutes almost out of a 3-hour long movie. It's not that bad.
Is it that long?
It's like
It-
2.5.
it
Pretty
was-
long, I thought.
I'm pretty sure it was the longest Star Wars movie up until
Yeah.
TLJ.
And they cut
or
a
something.
lot out.
Mhm.
Yeah,
There were-
yeah.
there were
Oh, yeah.
amazing scenes they took out
No,
of that.
yeah.
There's some pretty fire deleted scenes.
Dude,
Yeah.
the fact
Yeah.
that they took anything out of Geonosis just drives me nuts. Like they had the assault on the ship with, yeah,
Bro,
dude, I wanted to see that.
Do you know what they took out? They took out like an entire scene of Django killing a few Jedi before he even encountered Mace. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, but the biggest crime of them all, right?
They took out Padme's family.
No, they took out a scene literally called Padme's bedroom. I mean, we were robbed.
Yeah.
If this were any other stream, I would play an inappropriate soundbite. I'm not gonna do that right now.
you know, for it not being
Oh,
necessarily
right.
inappropriate, you could just play the
He
Game
just
of Thrones music.
She just wanted to show Anakin some pictures, okay? Like that's all.
Yeah.
Nothing
Just
else.
making him
Yes.
jealous the whole time.
This is when I was Miss
Too
Naboo.
many.
She just needed him to take a look at R2.
The entire
Oh,
Clone
man.
Wars TV
Man, look
show
at
is
that
basically
Twilight.
just the extended edition of Attack of the Clones, so we kind of got it.
Yeah,
Right.
for real.
You know.
I haven't finished it yet, but I started the Attack of the Clones novel. It is way better than I thought it would be. Like,
Fantastic.
Revenge of
I
the
have
Sith
that.
and Phantom
I
Menace
thought you
are
were going
good
to say
too.
it's way better than the movie.
I don't know if it's better. I haven't finished it
He's
yet.
on like chapter 4, but he really
I'm
likes
like,
it.
I'm
I haven't
barely
finished
in it.
yet, but
Hey, I started it yesterday because I'm like, you know what? It'd be cool if I read it before the stream. Yeah, no.
We have an
but-
18-month-old.
But in the just in the prelude, it has this whole opening sequence about Anakin's nightmare, like with him, like his mom smiling at him, and then her smile like stretches across her whole face, and it starts freaking him out, and she turns to glass, and
Damn,
like,
Joker in Star Wars?
like it says like her blood is like running over the glass, and she shatters, and all this stuff before him, and
Yikes.
and I'm like, dang, like if they opened with that, is that the hardcover?
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
is this the
Let's-
same? Is
let's
is
see
it
that
the
again.
same person that did the Revenge of the Sith one?
No,
No,
they got
that's
it different.
Matthew
order,
Stover.
The first three.
Yeah.
Ari
Yeah.
Salvatore did the first book in the New Jedi Order series.
Oh,
Yeah, it's seriously, it's fantastic, and there's so much like, I didn't really care for Klieg very much,
oh.
and my heart broke for Klieg, and I'm barely in it, right? And like they have this whole thing where they're dreaming about like how Shmi goes out every night and like looks up at the stars to wait for Anakin to come back, and Klieg is talking about like how much Owen and Anakin would be friends, and and all of this, and
Dude, it's so good. I mean,
Where's
you
that
open up the
emotional
book,
damage clip?
I know for real,
serious, like,
dude. And then when
It's a good book.
when Shmi gets kidnapped, and you know he falls down because he it says how he lost his leg, so he still has his leg, and he falls down and he's weeping, and they get all the settlers together and they go out, and he's seeing like friends and family members get decapitated, and then his leg gets cut off, and he's holding his leg, and like I mean, it's like
it's violently descriptive.
Saving Private League.
It's only chapter 4.
Oh yeah, like the whole like every
That's
single.
pick me up.
You're gonna get the R-rated Battle of Geonosis, I'm sure.
Every scene is like loaded, and then there's all the deleted scenes, and then there's more on top of that. So I don't know if it's
Alright, I'm
better,
getting
but so far, dude, it's
been staring
it's
at me on
crazy.
Audible, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. Should I? No,
Get it,
no.
dude.
Now I'm definitely gonna do it.
I still recommend it.
And then you just have Obi-Wan saying, "Ignore your dreams."
Yeah, and I mean, before even chapter 1, it says, and I'm like, man, there's so much good context here, because it says that Anakin wanted to talk to Obi-Wan about his dreams, but he said that he's too busy with things that he had to do on other planets and other missions. And then it says that Palpatine would talk to him a lot, and he found comfort in him.
Yep.
And I mean, it's all stuff that like we've spent time like noticing, but to like just read it so plainly.
No,
like,
yeah.
Because I'll be honest, I thought it was just going to be a typical novelization, you know. But I don't know. I don't hear very much about Attack of the Clones novel. You know, you hear a lot about Revenge of the Sith.
The Phantom Menace one is good too. They're all
Really?
equally good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We have that. I need to go through that as well.
I want to hear what Matt thinks about Attack of the Clones, because I actually don't know. Just be gentle if you don't like it.
So Attack of the Clones is my favorite prequel, but for none of the reasons why anyone mentioned it, I'm sure Strike
I
knows
know,
exactly
I know
what-
his reason, and
Strike
I hate
knows
it.
exactly
I know,
what I'm going to
just
say.
already going.
There it goes. Because I see Attack of the Clones as the real rise of the Empire, right? With the creation of the clone army and everything that's going on, especially coming to it with the context of the original trilogy. And knowing what happens later and having seen all of that and seeing the creation of this army and they're marching at the, they're getting onto the vendors and all that. I'm like, they're for the Republic. I'm like, well, not really.
Wait, to be fair, they are playing
You might
the
think so.
Imperial March in that scene, so
Yeah, so I mean, for me, it's about the sort of the political intrigue, right, and kind of knowing the manipulation that goes through it. So I've watched Attack of the Clones a gazillion times.
Yeah.
So
Matt.
Go on.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, and I was just going to say, and for me, the rest of it is icing on the cake, right? I mean, obviously, I loved the fight in the arena. I guess I've never really thought about it as heavily as Aiden. I don't mind the first act that much, right? There's a lot of cool visuals there, and they do things that's obviously distracting the place. The plot has a lot of holes there, I suppose, right? But
it's only the first 20 minutes, man.
Yeah, I mean, the dialogue.
And you're gonna hear it all night. Don't worry.
The dialogue's never bothered me. I mean, it's sappy when it needs to be sappy, and I mean, to me, they portrayed what they were trying to portray, right, with all that stuff that was going on between Anakin and Padme. So I really like Attack of the Clones.
They could have cut 15 minutes out of that whole assassin scene and added that to the Battle of Geonosis. In my head,
fair.
like
That's fair.
They could have maybe just introduced a regular human being rather than a shapeshifter, and never actually used a shapeshifter. I don't know, that would have been pretty cool.
You're still on that.
Not like them.
It was still pretty cool to like in Attack of the Clones. Well, in Phantom Menace, you see Coruscant like bright and beautiful for Anakin to like really admire. Like, oh wow, this is a whole city planet. And then in Attack of the Clones, it's nighttime. You're seeing the like the clubs and the dark alleyways and stuff, and it's really like a juxtaposition of like the utopia kind of when Anakin sees it as a kid and now being a Jedi and seeing like the true underlings and dark of the planet.
Still could have done it in like 5 minutes. though.
Maybe, but I don't know. I still appreciate it.
But
We're gonna get the famous death stick scenes without it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
20
true,
minutes.
man.
That's
Make the movie
iconic.
longer.
Yeah, just make a 4-hour cut.
Yeah.
That's what we really need.
Matt did touch on an interesting point though with the politics. Dooku. I'm
It's
talking
like,
now.
who is talking?
No, but Matt touched on an interesting point of what I think a lot of people are also sleeping on, and that is the politics. I know quite a few people are like, oh, too many politics, but I think especially in like Attack of the Clones, they're like some of the most important aspect of the entire story in Star Wars in general, because I think it's also one of these things that like started being called upon in the OT with like one comment of like an Imperial officer of like what is, or I think Vader says something about the Imperial Senate not being allowed to know about it, and it just kind of like I don't think it gets mentioned ever again, but it's sort of like, okay, there's a Senate and they seem to like not be allowed to know about some stuff. And then we have like the whole Senate in the prequels, and in Attack of the Clones, obviously, Palpatine as Chancellor, and the whole way of like giving him emergency powers and like the actual story behind him gaining power legally, and like that's like the whole reason why he was even in the position to kill all the Jedi or take over the galaxy to begin with. I think is a very interesting point that a lot of people don't really appreciate, but that's set up in Attack of the Clones.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a really good point.
Jar Jar for him becoming emperor, right? I mean,
Yes.
it all has
The key to everything.
It's all his plan. It's all Jar Jar's plan.
Before we move on really quick, Matt Cave has to bounce. We'll put his channel in the chat here for anybody who's not there. His retro
It's an awesome
gaming
channel.
stuff is insane. He has some of my, if you like Hoth,
Yeah,
he
the
has
Hoth
some
series.
amazing
Oh
videos.
yeah,
on
they're so
Hoth.
good.
I like Hoth a little bit.
Yeah,
He does a little Hoth.
It must be a Matt thing.
That's right. Exactly right.
Nice.
Still
It
like
is.
Hoth.
yeah. But thanks for being here, Matt. Yeah, we'll
We
put your
appreciate you.
somebody. I don't know. I'll see if I can do it. We'll put your channel in the chat there. That'd
Oh,
be
I
cool.
appreciate it, man. Thank you for letting me pop in for a little bit. I'm sorry I couldn't hang out longer, but I wanted to at least stop by, say hi to everybody, and also congrats on 5K and beyond. Dude, you guys are killing it, man. It's just
thanks.
so awesome. I love every time I get the alert that you guys have a new video dropping. I'm like, yes, okay, let's see how deep we're going into the thought process of whatever character it is today.
That's awesome. Thanks so much, man.
Thank
Really
you.
appreciate that.
It's good stuff. And Attack of the Clones rules. You guys all know it.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, Matt Cave.
All right, everybody, have a good one.
See you, buddy.
later.
See you, man.
Take care.
Later, dude. Can I just say that the
I love
world
that
building
man.
in Attack
The
of the
first
Clones
20
is
minutes
also
sucked.
real.
We actually
Sorry,
didn't hear
sorry. Go ahead.
you. Sorry. Vader.
Reap what you sow.
I was gonna say something positive this time. All right.
Okay.
But I was gonna say that the world building in Attack of the Clones is also like probably some of the best in any Star Wars movies, because they introduce like we not only get new planets, but we get to see different sides of planets that we've already visited before. I like the fact that we get to see the other side of Naboo almost, or like we get to see a new planet like Geonosis. I like to see that we get to see. I like how we get to see like sort of like another side of Coruscant, like kind of like the party animals and like the underworld. I thought that was really cool. I always enjoyed that. Exactly. And just a lot of the themes and ideas going on is also really good. But yeah, it's really all I got to say right now.
Yeah. I pulled something up, and your I mean your point was good, but I don't think it was.
Yeah, it was all right.
Oh god.
It's kind of abrupt. That was it.
Oh man. So I saw this.
It's gonna be a long night.
I saw this quote from Padawannabe, and I thought this would cool. We do the thing called like Star Wars Wisdom Talk, so this could kind of be like a pseudo one for a few minutes. We actually had one we were gonna do from Attack of the Clones, and I think it would be cool to actually hear your guys' thoughts on this. This quote is from the novel, but it's Shmi talking to Klee, and she says it's better to die in pursuit of your dreams than to live without hope. It's better to die in pursuit of your dreams than to live without hope. And just seeing Padawannabe here saying, just curious if any of you actually relate Star Wars at all to a real world stuff, or do you treat it just as entertainment? I know for me that, like, yes, Star Wars is a form of escapism and entertainment, but I think it can go a little deeper, and there's things like to glean from that.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm just thinking about like Shmi, you know, like waiting for Anakin and like believing the best and all this. And like just like real, I mean, just in the YouTube world, right? Like getting like the email about monetization where I'm like, that'd be super cool, and then not getting it, you know, I'm like, it does suck, you know, kind of that back and forth. But I'm like, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm like, I love this, you know, like this is like, I would do this all the time, you know. And it's like you were saying, it's like, yeah, cool, if there's a few bucks, I'm not gonna complain about that, you know. But it's like man, it's just so cool. Like even looking around the panel here, I'm like, man, we've met some awesome people. And so for me, and I know X-Wing, we've talked about that, we got to meet in real life, dude.
Yeah.
Like that was so cool. But yeah, I just want to hear maybe Mrs. and then your guys' thoughts, because for me it's like I would rather like just passionately pursue dreams, you know, than to like live without hope and then just kind of give up, you know. And I think there's some things in Attack of the Clones that kind of mirror that, and it's, you know, it's unfortunate that the whole movie just takes a darker tone. But I mean, to answer your question, Padawannabe, like absolutely, I take it as some real world stuff for sure.
Can you say the quote again?
Oh yeah, for sure. And then I want to hear from you guys. You guys are smart, wisdom-filled people. It's better to die in pursuit of your dreams than to live without hope.
Yeah, you guys. I want to hear your guys' wisdom. We say it all the time, but you guys have wisdom too. On the spot.
Very wisdom.
So, are we talking about that quote specifically, or just other parts of Star Wars?
Whatever you want, my man.
Because one thing that I always look at Attack of the Clones with, and like how it kind of related me as a child was definitely Anakin trying to find that father figure, like you know, you're talking about with Obi-Wan, how in the novel he wants to, you know, talk to him about these things. But, you know, he's busy with all this other stuff, and that's why Palpatine being there is kind of the one who actually ends up being more like a father than Obi-Wan is. And obviously that's what leads to his downfall. But yeah, just kind of the idea that, you know, just also his connection with his mother, and how you know, responsibilities and stuff can kind of stop you from, you know, doing the things you want. But you know, just definitely things like that, and just Anakin's anger as well, showing that, you know, he's human. You know, he's trying to be a Jedi, and Jedi are supposed to, you know, be so perfect, you know, don't have attachments and be like the most pure that a person can be. But from Anakin's upbringing, you know, it's hard for him to even try to be that. And just really showing the humanity of Anakin's character.
That's good. I like that.
I've always felt that Star Wars has always taken real world themes and applied it to some of the themes in its movies. It's always taken real world problems and sometimes subtly integrated it into its universe. Like it's themes like slavery, that's a real world problem. And the way it's addressed in Star Wars, yeah, it may not be as best represented as it is in our world, but like it's still a film. People aren't going to want to go and like learn about the you know, I don't know how to put it into words, but like you get real world problems, and that's like I've always related to, I want to say, when you see like real mature themes, it kind of helps really ground some of the more Star Warsy bits into I'd say a pretty good, well interconnected universe almost. I've always felt that I've always related to Anakin the most, not necessarily not growing up, like the fact that like Anakin never grows up without a father. I've never had to relate to that or anything, but I've always related to like the way he deals with like all that like with stress and stuff. Because like sometimes when you have a lot of stress, you just like you don't know how to talk about it, and you just kind of like hold it in until you finally like you can't hold it in anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I've always related to that because I don't know, whenever like I'm in a stressful situation, I don't like to talk about it at all. I just kind of deal with it myself because I've never liked the idea of like immediately just like breaking down everything that's stressing me out. And I like how like people like Anakin deal with that very similarly, or how yeah, I think that the themes in Star Wars can be as easily applied to real life. And yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think especially in this movie, right, the political undertones may be a little bit too on the nose here for some things that have happened lately, right, in regards to how authoritarian rule can literally sneak up on you, and what was good becomes bad, or maybe it was bad the whole time, and then your point of view shifts, or things happen, or people get emergency powers that they never give up. And so again, I think a lot of the criticism that the movie has received through time, right, for some of these themes that are touched upon, whether it is the broken home, the slavery, the political undertones, all those things, is it trends a little bit towards too real, I think, for some folks, and a little bit less of a fantasy type thing, and a little bit more, a little bit more like, ooh, this is, show me a fun chase scene quick, right? Or let's get a big battle in here that has a lot of aliens, that kind of, puts me back into the moment, right? Because it's heavy. This is a very heavy movie, and I think again, people weren't expecting that, especially when you juxtapose it with what happened in episode 1, right? It's just a very different kind of movie. And for me, I've always appreciated that, right? I mean, again, I think audiences can be intelligent. Maybe they were more intelligent in 2002 than they are in 2022. I don't know. That's probably a debate for a different time, right? But so I mean, that's where I come from, right? I think each one of these movies has a different way that they can relate to real life. It's just whether or not the audience wants to go there.
Yeah.
I like how Anakin. Sorry.
No, you're good.
And I was just gonna say, and I think while it does have aspects of the real world, I do feel like Star Wars has mainly always been about depicting just very simple but very human emotions, and putting them into a spectrum where there's like one side of human emotions just really extremified, so to speak. So for instance, we have the Sith that are very passionate, but at the same time very, very full of rage and anger, and the jealousy. And then we have the Jedi that are like really calm. They help people, but at the same time they're like they're kind of running into problems with the attachment to people. And I think it has always been more about the human side of things, connecting to the real world, than the actual political side of things. Of course, like, I mean, you have these things that are going to be similar because that's what we know. So I mean, obviously, that's what you're kind of going to base the story and the whole world upon. But I do feel like Star Wars has never tried to show actual human problems in a way, and like showing how they solved it or whatever. But it has been more about that inner conflict in every single one of us, and I think that's what Anakin has always been sort of about, like very passionate, very, very full of emotions, and yeah. So I think that's what it's mainly been all about.
And oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say like one quick thing about you're talking about the Jedi and the Sith, and even this movie really shows a different side of the Sith with Dooku, where you have that one-on-one conversation with Obi-Wan and Dooku, where Dooku, says like, "I wish Qui-Gon was still here," and you see, like, Dooku's a Sith, but he still has feelings. He still has emotions. Like, he's mourning his old apprentice's loss, and that's a huge difference from the Phantom Menace, where you have Darth Maul, who was just full rage, and you obviously didn't have that complexity to him. So yeah, just this movie does like a lot in terms of both the Jedi and the Sith, showing like neither of them like are purely like 100% great. They both have a mix of gray in both of them. So yeah.
There was a couple good points in the chat too. I think Ladaj had a couple.
Mm-hmm. And I think Alex is going to speak to it, but what's up, Christopher Nelson?
Christopher Nelson's here.
Giving a shout out to Alex. But yeah, Ladaj says redemption as well has always been something I've been connected with in Star Wars
I was actually thinking about that the whole time, because that's the biggest thing I take away from it, because that's kind of the whole saga. The 6 films is only films, but that's the whole story there. And with this film specifically, we start to see, with episode 2, we see the fall of who's supposed to be the hero, or the start of it, and then we don't see the redemption of that really until episode 6. But it's all about forgiveness and redemption through his son, which is always something I've always thought. If Vader can be forgiven for his sins, then anybody can, if they're willing to repent of all their wrongs or whatever. And so I think despite everything that Anakin ends up becoming and doing, at the end, it doesn't take away everything that he's done, but it does in the end show who he truly was. I think. And I think that's the most important thing that I've gotten out of this whole franchise.
Yes, cool, 100%.
I like how
I was gonna make a rude comment about redemption not being allowed in the Kenobi series.
No, not the time, nor the place. Not the time, nor the place.
Let's not push it.
One of the things I did leave out, right, that I think is another big juxtaposition in this movie specifically, is you've got this Tatooine is really desolate, right? And it's everyone's down on their luck, and people are getting kidnapped, and there's slavery, right? And then there's Naboo, right? It's beautiful, right? There's flowers everywhere, and everything, and of course I know Padme was well to do, right? But even if you just think of the shots of Naboo in general, it's just a paradise, right? And so you've got this whole part of the story that's going on, right, in a place that's really, really bleak. Right, and then another place it's just absolutely gorgeous, right? And I think there's
Obi-Wan being in a ton of shitty places, and Anakin and Padme just rolling around in flowers.
Right, literally rolling around in flowers, right? But I mean, I think it does a great job to just show, if you want to go there, right, show privilege versus non-privileged and subjugated, right? And how you can or can't break out of those that standard of living. So,
and you can see too, like after Anakin and Padme are hanging out on Naboo for a while, when they go back to Tatooine to look for Anakin's mom, you can kind of feel Padme like, oh, that's right, this is where Anakin comes from. That's so different than what I'm used to.
And that's why the I Hate Sand scene works, and
it does.
Yes.
It totally works.
I love that line.
At least they look dirty. At least they look dirty and Tatooine at that time, right? At least
Here you go.
You're just thinking about how, oh crap, he was right. No wonder he doesn't like sand.
What about X-Wing or Avella? You guys are actually quiet, which is surprising for X-Wing.
Thanks a lot for that. Fired. By the way, I'm soaking in all the wisdom, man. Yeah, I mean, I definitely got stuff to say, but I just like hearing everybody's take.
Yeah, it's your turn now.
No, Villa hasn't said anything.
Yeah, Bella.
It's been 45 minutes, Avella.
Okay, well, it's
Do you like
almost
Star
3,
Wars?
so I
We
just
can
have
start
too
there.
much wisdom in me right now, so
That's okay.
It is pretty late.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's like 3 in the morning for you or something?
yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
no.
That's crazy.
That's
I
good.
woke up at 5 p.m., so it's fine.
Wow.
7 p.m. That's awesome. Well, let's do this. We'll actually transition. We'll do a giveaway, and then I want to break into. We're gonna do a little. I don't know if it's really March Madness, but we're gonna pit some Attack of the Clones scenes against each other.
Oh yeah.
And we are gonna definitively say for all of the Star Wars fandom what the best scene in Attack of
Because
the
we
Clones
have the
is.
authority. This panel has the authority to decide that.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yep.
responsibility.
Dang right we do.
It's exactly right. Okay, so here is we're gonna do 2 separate giveaways.
Okay.
So the first one, we'll do these. I'll pull this up. So someone if I can find my
it's
mouse.
This camera. We have
Um,
multiple cameras.
So someone at this really awesome company, Sword and Whetstone, they make custom Star Wars pins, and there's a Jedi Scum sticker as well. So these are pins, so you can actually put these like in your backpack, your microphone, your jacket, whatever. So there's a Jedi Scum pin, and you know, if you know
Jedi
us,
scum in the chat anywhere? Anywhere?
Yeah,
Jedi scum?
we're not the biggest fans of these movies,
Throw
but
that pin in the
I would
trash.
say that
But this is a cool pin.
I would say it's a really nice pin. Maybe you know someone.
Oh
who
yeah,
likes-
Sam is in the chat. He'll appreciate it.
So you're gonna get a really awesome pin. Also, you're going to get Kylo, which Kylo's cool, you know. But nonetheless, type scum into the chat for the Jedi scum. Let me see.
Where's the sticker?
Can I put my real world thing in while we're letting the chat get the scum in?
Absolutely. Yes.
So for me, I mean, Star Wars has always been a form of escapism, right? It has to be. It's what we watch it for. And so much of the modern argument is that it's not escapism anymore because they're injecting all these real world politics and things into Star Wars. And the bottom line is that that's not the problem. We've had real world problems in Star Wars from day one. It's how you contextualize those issues and how you present them that really makes it effective in how you absorb those things. And so for me, absolutely. The Force has always been human emotion for me. That's how I judge it. You know, there are warnings about if you dive to jealousy, greed, avarice, all these different things, this is what's going to happen to you. And if you stray too far to the light, you'll miss what's right in front of you as well. And you can be blind to the issues that are around you, thinking everything's okay. Everything is hunky-dory. And so I really think it was just a good example. For me, it's always been a good example of how to kind of check yourself as a human. You got to check yourself. You know what I mean? Don't stray too far down one path. Keep it balanced. Don't be a Jedi. Don't be a Sith. So I've always taken that part of Star Wars and brought it into my day-to-day thinking. But when I sit down and I watch a Star Wars movie, I'm not thinking that when I'm watching it. So it's 100% escapism when I'm watching it. But when I'm out of the theater, when I'm just hanging out or thinking about it, that's when I dive into it and really start thinking about what it means to me as a person. And I think that's the difference and why people are upset about this kind of Star Wars versus this kind of Star Wars. One tells you what to think and one makes you think.
Right.
Well, the difference, right, is in the prequels, the story, the tropes that you see there are appropriate to the story, right? The story came first. Those things fit into the story. So as you're watching it, it's relatable, right? But it's not hitting you over the head, right? It's not lecturing at you, right? And I think where we've strayed away, just generally speaking, entertainment-wise, right? Now everything seems like it's a lecture, and the story gets constructed around the lecture, and it feels very fabricated. So now I remember everyone does back then, oh, the stories is so poorly written, and what the heck was going on here, right? And the dialogue and everything. I would love for someone to write these kinds of stories again, right? Where it was like, I really enjoyed the story, right? And maybe it taught me a couple of things, right? Or maybe it sent me out of the theater thinking about some stuff that we're still talking about now, 20 years later.
Right.
Right. I would say that's a really successful movie.
Yep.
And you're
Right, if
gaining
you can
fresh perceptions.
That too.
Yes. The most fresh.
Perceptions. You're getting fresh perspectives on it still to this day. Whereas I don't like, I couldn't, and I don't want to turn this into bagging on anything or whatever, but you know, it becomes hard to go back and talk about some of the newer stories that we've got because it's already been told. There's no going back and thinking about how it could be different. It's been told already.
Yeah, that's one of the great things.
For T-Money.
Yeah, like when you have a good story, it's just so many interconnected themes that kind of when you watch it, you can watch it for fun or whatever topic you're thinking of, you'll find some connection that will help you or inspire you no matter what topic you're thinking of on your own.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So, does anyone want these?
I'm the only
Did
one
anyone
who's entered the
submit?
giveaway. I guess
Nobody.
nobody wants them.
All right. All you have to do is write scum and in the chat.
Otherwise,
and we'll,
Matt is getting pins.
Or we're yeah,
He's getting
10 seconds
Hey,
and we're
you
gonna
guys
roll it.
don't want to pay for shipping, so I'm not entering.
He's
10, 9.
I'm just gonna say
8. Okay, roll it.
Oh, let's see. I wonder.
No, just put it in.
Oh, you missed it. Let's see.
We have more.
We do have more. There we go. Matt Risman has won the giveaway.
We can add this to a sticker pack.
Yeah,
we already have a sticker
we have
pack
a sticker
to send
pack to send you. That's sick. Yeah, so we do have these as well, and we're gonna bundle these with something else. So we do have Luke and Yoda pins.
Give me that.
The Luke and Yoda pins are actually gonna go with some Catherine LaSalle art.
I commissioned a piece from her like a year and a half ago.
Oh man, that's funny.
Drawings take time, young apprentice.
Yeah,
somebody's getting a DM after this stream.
But we'll do the we'll go through this and then we'll do that, and then we actually have they were I think Padawannabe was actually there. There was like a Lego convention in town.
Yes.
And
So
like a local Lego store is giving away, I think, Lego set and minifigs, and
to you guys.
Yeah, to you guys, and that's part of the giveaway. But it might be on actually a different one, just because I don't know exactly what it is yet because they were at this convention.
At first, I thought, like, because you had like that picture there, I actually thought you were giving away the Lego Republic attack shuttle.
Ooh.
That would have been nuts. But
what picture?
They sent like a picture of things that they were giving. Like they were like, yeah, we can give out some of this stuff, and that was one of the ones in there. So I'm like, maybe we'll
Did
see.
you silence me in the chat, bro? Because I typed scum and I don't see it. Did you silence
me? Yours come across. Are you
say something right now.
Did you? I'm about to say something.
I don't know how to
Maybe it's
silence.
because you're trying to call me scum. Maybe that's why.
I don't see you in the participants list, X-Wing, actually.
I came to your house.
This is how I get
Yeah, you should show up.
How do
brought
you
beer and said hello there.
I know. We got the where is it?
Hello there.
I saw it that time.
I didn't consent to that play. I didn't sign
Oh, there he
any
is.
paperwork for being filmed in that moment, so I just want to put that out there.
Are you the
know,
one who
you're not
complained
getting-
to YouTube?
Yeah,
Use your content.
I was about to say you're not getting any pennies because they're not monetized.
Well, I was thinking, I'm like, now there's like no rules for us.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
there's
no.
That was one thing I was gonna say at the beginning of the stream. Is like, you've been being good. It's time to pull the gloves off. You're like, fine, YouTube, you want to play? Let's go, bro.
Let's play. Let's brawl.
Let's go.
Yeah, we can't get penalized any further. Like,
Well, our channel can get taken down.
that's true. That is true.
Okay,
After the stream, if you don't see
Start
the
your
channel
backup channel now. Start your backup channel. Call it 3 Star Wars Nerds. I'll be an honorary third.
Oh, that's already me. Sorry,
sub.
already taken.
First sub and first Patreon.
X-Wing.
I'm just saying.
Get in line.
Yeah, you are the first Patreon.
You're a
actually.
Patreon?
Yeah. I got
She
the.
says it so like she can't believe it. Like your
Dude,
Patreon.
you've never supported our channel. Oh,
X-Wing got money.
That's funny.
Just crazy to me.
We have more giveaways coming. Matt Risman won those pins fair
we
and
wanted
square.
that Kylo pin so bad.
It was a rough battle.
Yeah,
Okay.
You fought
I
hard.
see how it is.
I know.
See how it is.
Oh man. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do, and I want to hear. We're gonna start with Avella. There's no wisdom in it. So I want to hear. It makes all of us look super tiny here. But I want to start with you. I want to hear, out of these two scenes, what is the better scene in Attack of the Clones? This is actually Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, wait,
It's a trick question.
So what's the better scene? Okay, so
What's the better
the
scene of
bottom
Attack
one
of the
wins.
Clones? Let me think about it.
I was totally like, man, that is such a good scene. Then right now, and I looked at Mike, nah, that's some wrong movie.
Mr. Nerds
That's
was
the
holding
wrong
me
movie.
at 3:30
Honorary
a.m.
mention.
Like, oh, this
Space
is my
battle.
favorite scene.
So good in Attack of the Clones.
Man, I didn't even remember Attack of the Clones was hitting that hard.
Okay, there we go.
Here we go. These are both the right movie.
No.
Here we go. So, what is the better scene of Ella?
Very difficult question. But I don't know, maybe the Geonosis fight still. It's like there's just so much. You know, all the Jedi, all the droids and all that.
I'm all the Jedi.
X-Wing, okay, you know what? Get out of here.
You're wondering why your chats are blocked.
Well, I agree with her. I'm Geonosis.
Me too.
I am Geonosis.
I
I am
Geonosis.
I am Geonosis.
You know me, dude. Petronaki was a turning point in Star Wars for me.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, Geonosis.
I was like, oh, we get to do this now? Okay, let's just do this forever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to be the arena, right?
Is anyone on Cobra Disney's side?
I'm on his
or
side.
the Dash? Okay, let's hear it.
Well, because we got Dooku fighting Yoda. We got
Super
Yoda
dope.
flipping around doing stuff. We got the wizard from Lord of the Rings fighting the little green man.
The wizard from Star Wars?
Yeah,
Wizard from Star.
it's amazing. I mean, I like the other scene, but I prefer the battle between the two of them. I just think it's really funny.
Well, what's
watching
the
them jump
length of what we're talking about here? Are
Yeah.
we talking about like the 30 seconds of what's going on? Because the 30 seconds here are super boring. Everybody's chilling out and Dooku's talking to him, and they're like, "Oh, well, I guess you guys are done."
I think it just means the entirety of the
Yeah.
Geonosis fight.
So beginning with the Jedi like igniting their lightsaber, or
Yes.
even the monster stuff, like
Or the
Say,
clones,
literally
like,
everything.
rolling in on the
Yeah.
LATs. I mean,
I would say
where-
Everything
every
on Geonosis.
Petronaki Arena. So everything
As a
from
whole?
Anakin and Padme
It
going
wins.
in to the end of Petronaki Arena. And then
Oh,
with
definitely.
Dooku
Oh, the
and
arena all
Yoda,
day, bro.
you could include Anakin and Obi-Wan in that.
Okay.
Because
Ooh.
it's that
I keep my
whole
decision.
hangar scene. I mean,
keep my
if
decision.
you can't be like Aiden and go all the way back to the very beginning of the film. And
Well,
start
wait.
You know
okay.
what?
So is it,
You know-
is it the whole hangar scene, including the Anakin fight and the Yoda fight?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know what?
I still stick with my decision.
The
I still have to
Geonosian,
say
the
Geonosis.
Geonosian
Yeah,
arena
Geonosis.
scene, I think, would win, but it's so close to the first act, so I don't know.
It is closer to the first act.
I
That's
mean, it kind of kills it for me, you know. I mean,
Proximity vote.
Just
I
by
just don't think
osmosis.
it has much to do with the plot of the film, and that's why I don't like it.
Did you notice how Yoda's lightsaber is longer than the sabers they give you in the Star Cruiser?
Oh
It
god.
is.
Okay, so
Okay,
so the
next.
so the vote here. Let's see it. I was gonna say raise of hands.
do we hold a one
Raise
or
of
two?
hands.
Is there a way to vote?
1, 2.
I was gonna say raise of hands.
You can
Deep
throw a
dive.
1
We'll
or
have
2
to
in the
get you.
chat.
I can verbally vote.
Okay.
verbally.
Yeah. So we can do. We'll do the chat if you all are able to do the chat too. Awesome. 1 in the chat for Petronaki Arena, 2 in the chat.
Please put a 1 for me.
The hangar bay scene. I don't know if it's considered a hangar bay.
Hangar bay.
I don't know if it's
Hangar
considered.
bay?
Well, now since you said
A
that,
hangar
I
bay?
have to vote too.
Hangar bay lightsaber fight.
You said 1. That was yours.
But your wife is influencing the chat because she said, "Please pick 1 for me."
Please, please pick 1.
Wait, which one is
Yeah,
which? I already forgot.
Petronaki 1.
Okay.
The Geonosian hangar 2.
Yeah, I gotta say, I think I'm one who was really happy that they, built up Yoda fighting. It was really cool, like them first doing the using the Force, and then later uses the skill with the lightsaber. But I'm still up with Petronaki Arena. I remember seeing that as a kid and just thinking like that was the coolest scene. Just between like the almost gladiator, like you have all these monsters attacking them, and how Padme is able to kind of make the first move, and then everyone else ends up escaping as well. And then when the Jedi come in, it's like woo! So, yeah.
This has been a close bout.
A lot closer than I thought it was going to be, right?
Yeah.
But I think 1 might have eked it out.
X-Wing put 1 too.
Yep.
1 barely won.
Petronaki Arena is definitively the better scene.
You
Yep.
decided.
Yes.
And once again, there was balance in the force.
Yes.
We have
So,
spoken.
round 2. Out of these 2
Ooh.
scenes.
Oh, that's easy for me.
Oh, let me
man.
think
Oh,
about it.
that's hard.
No contest.
Seismic charge. Yep.
So you actually can't include any
2 all
of
the
the
way.
sounds. It's just the visuals in this? No. I'm kidding. Oh, you said no contest, and this is you.
Yeah, no
This is-
contest.
This is
Sweet.
Okay, well let's hear
I mean,
it. Let's hear it.
I
from you.
know Matt is going to put a 2 in the chat, but you?
Bro, 2 all day. Are you
Two-
kidding
two
me?
all
We
day.
see the clone army? Bro,
Yeah.
With
get
the
out of
Imperial
here.
March, it's too perfect.
Yeah.
I do have to say,
2
I'm
for all the
1.
symbolism in that scene.
cinematography is like top notch. It's so iconic. But
Look, everybody loves the seismic charge, okay? And
Well,
what's
it's not
cool
only
too
the seismic charge.
is that scene actually is the reason why Boba Fett knows to look for Han,
Mhm.
Yeah, that part.
because he was
Yeah.
hiding in the asteroids, which is
That's
cool.
cool.
Cool callback.
2
Cool
is
callback.
better.
But 2 is just, are you kidding me? This is the first time we see the Empire in its
Exactly.
in its fetal state, right? We see the
This-
Empire.
The
This is
visuals,
supposed to
everything is
be-
just better in 2.
The end of the movie is supposed to be, oh, the good guys are gonna go fight the good fight, except that it's the beginning of the bad guy truly winning. Because
Oh.
everything's going as he
You
wants
know-
it
Oh, I
to
know.
be.
There's
That's why the
actually
Imperial March is playing throughout the whole thing.
And how conflicted are you as a Star Wars fan when you see all of them? You're like, yeah, good guy. Wait,
Oh, nope.
not good.
also what
No,
I
they're still good. Let's go.
something that I saw in a video recently, which I find very interesting, is that in movies in general, classically, if you look at like one side is the good side and one side is the bad side, usually if they have like a huge standoff, a huge battle with the good army against the bad army, they usually attack from the good guys are on the left
Yep.
and the bad guys are on the right.
Mhm.
In Attack of the Clones during the whole fight are on the right,
Right. Yep.
and the
Oh,
droids are on the
interesting.
left.
Wow,
Yep.
I
That's a
didn't
great
know
detail.
that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I learned
it-
that recently. Super awesome that they like literally foreshadowing once more.
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you watch the Battle of Hoth versus the Battle of Geonosis, it's like
They're on the
a
left,
complete,
and the
it's-
Empire on the right.
Yeah, it's a whole like parallel. It's so cool.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Ladaj hits it on the head. It's got an eerie feeling to it because you're like, this should feel good,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, I stood up and applauded. I was very happy with it.
Of course you are.
You know, in Matchbook, they're the real heroes.
No
Man.
problem.
And
at
how
all.
dope is that Phase 1 armor, dude? As much as I
Mhm.
Oh,
love
yeah.
Phase 2, like Phase 1 armor is just so sick.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They don't even
Clone-
look.
clone
they don't
armor
even
in
look
general.
nice. In
Clone
that
armor in
fast, they
general
don't
is
even
good.
look like nice people. They don't even look
I
like
know.
heroes,
They
right?
got that
Also-
big old, they got that big old frown going.
I mean,
They
I
just
like
remind
the
me of
fact
the
that-
Rocketeer. I think that's why I love it so much. Is the Rocketeer was such a big
Mhm.
movie for me when I was a kid, and they just look like the Rocketeer.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing is that Phase 2 armor is my personal favorite, but I do appreciate that the Phase 1 has more of a Mandalorian feel to it with the visor.
Yeah.
It's pretty sick.
Yeah.
So who won?
So I think, and any of you can correct me if my math is wrong. The seismic charge.
Did I vote? I did.
Is the better scene definitively. It was very close again.
They're all very close.
These are, I mean, I'm surprised at. I mean, they're all great scenes. You know. Too late, deep dive. Too late. We already
always hope. Never give up hope.
Never give up hope.
Recount.
Some people like things. I like good film. You know, so it's just.
Man, this is heavy character building for Boba. All right, give me a break. Of course, I'm voting one.
Some people like things. We have good taste, right? It's a whole different.
Yeah, it's tough when you have good taste. It's you know,
Are we really debating the people that have taste on a stream for a movie that most people hate?
Yeah,
Thank
Most
you.
people are wrong.
Good talk.
I just have to say, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I actually lost my taste. I had COVID. I lost my taste, and since it's come back, it's clearly stronger. Voting against everybody else because this is just
so weird.
You appreciate it more when it comes back.
Truly.
I was just gonna say, just the fact, seeing these stills, you know, and just the fact, like, there's so many great scenes, and it's just sad to see so many people like just you know, hate on Attack the Clones.
Well, and for so stupid reasons, I feel sometimes like things like the sand line that are. I mean, I get it; it's prequel meaning, but like, it's not even stupid. Like, it has legitimate meaning that is not that hard to understand.
They have COVID. They have no taste.
Exactly. And also, I mean, the CGI thing with people saying it's. I mean, that's also like a lame excuse. I mean, look at those clones. Look at those clones and tell me where you see the error of the CGI.
No,
Thank
right?
you.
Great.
Yeah, I don't see it.
I mean, especially for 2002, it's great.
Yeah. Look at other movies with the CGI. 2002 looks shit.
Yeah.
Go watch a Disney made-for-TV movie with CGI from 2002, and then watch Attack of the Clones.
Oh baby, yeah.
Like
seriously,
you'll see the difference here.
Yep.
All right, next round here. These two scenes,
Oh.
but let me give a little bit.
Yeah, we need some context.
Of context. So, part of it would be the revealing of the Death Star plan. So the whole thing with Anakin and Padme and 3PO, and like you can include a lot of stuff in this. Like you can kind of stretch it out, and then obviously, for me, it's pretty one-sided. But I would say everything from Anakin leaving on his speeder to his mom being buried. Everything in between.
Dude, this is ice cream and oranges, though.
I mean, Anakin wins for me.
I say that shot of Anakin on the speeder.
Bro, we get Qui-Gon again too. Like we get Qui-Gon.
Anakin, don't.
Anakin.
The reason 2 wins is for that small section with him and Shmi. That whole scene is acted brilliantly.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think, you know, just the whole scene of like his mother dying, like it's literally one of the most underrated scenes. And Hayden acted the crap out of that.
Yes.
I like the idea that you can just see everything in his eyes.
I think the member berries were too hard for me in number 1. I think the member berries were too much. You know that DiCaprio meme when you're like,
yeah,
that was me with the Death Star. I think I won. I think I won for this one.
Yep.
Just the scene of
it's Anakin
behind
Anakin all day.
I would like to hear.
I
think I know what it is.
Come on, do you really want to ask him why he voted for the Empire?
Back, dude. I'm pushing back. I don't know, just like. And it's the first time we see the Seppies concede defeat. They're like,
oh wait, I thought you said you didn't like it.
No, the member berries were so hard. I loved it.
Oh, I thought you didn't like it.
I thought you were about the film, bro. Filmmaking.
And I mean, on a side note, this is the first time on screen we've seen a Tusken village. Like before, we've only seen Luke getting attacked by Tuskens, or for instance, in the pod race, Tuskens shooting.
I'm so conflicted.
And
I mean, the
I
village
like the idea
And
the
Strike,
massives.
can I please offer that this would have been the last time we should have ever seen a Tuscan village?
Yes.
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 Amen.
Matt, you don't need to excuse yourself for that one. Yes, you're absolutely right.
You
It
know,
should have been
dude,
the last time.
I'm changing my vote. I'm going to 2.
Why I had to go 2 though is the music too, like just the soundtrack yeah.
Just
Like
at this
John
time,
Williams makes
Duel
it
of the
sound like
Fates is-
bees are buzzing in your head, like all this
Mhm.
gnarly. Yeah.
And also like just the tension building, like like when you see like Anakin like look at the village and like the music is like very very quiet. It's just this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can feel Anakin.
It's the first time he's also
mentally
used the dark side of
Music.
bully.
The music.
Somebody
Someone
try
call
to
me
hum
Dark
the
Side Bully?
music. If
Who said
anybody
Dark
can
Side
hum the
Bully?
music
Someone
of him
just
when he
called-
starts getting mad as Shmi dies and he's about to turn to the
Mhm.
Tuscans and kill him, like somebody try to hum that. It's impossible.
Yes, everyone at once.
Hey, that we're getting the effect. It's a team
I have
effort.
people sleeping in
Hire
this
us,
house. I'm not
Disney.
doing that.
Hire us
Acap-
for Andor. We'll all just hum your music.
Acapella.
Do the ADR, bro.
We've got this.
One of my favorite scenes in the bottom clip there is when Anakin takes that swing and the way they cut with it.
Yes.
I love
Oh yeah, that's a
that
good
cut.
switch.
You can
He does
barely
a-
see
he
the
does a
head
ray
coming
swing.
off.
It's a literal cut.
Full-blown ray
Mhm.
swing.
Just the soundtrack of these scenes, like when Anakin starts to leave and he's saying goodbye to Padme, it's just, Force theme, super heroic music. And then the moment he gets on the speeder bike, it flips to Duel
and
of
the
the Fates,
speeder
and you can
bike-
just feel like, okay,
Yeah,
he's snapped.
that
He's
whole
dark
shot.
side.
Speeder bike
It's just
shots
beautiful.
with the
The
sun,
lighting.
the red sun, the red
Mhm.
sky. Oh.
I really think they should have called back to TPN and done a first person though, where he's like racing
Ooh.
through with the
Oh,
first
that would've
person.
been
I'd
cool.
see that.
Wow.
No,
Yeah,
but yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
That would've
No,
been good.
Super cool.
But I like the fact
Bryce-
that we're traveling with Anakin in that.
Yeah,
scene. The camera's
and also
panning
just
on him.
seeing his face, how determined he was. Like he's like, I am gonna find my mother. There's nobody who's gonna stop me from
Mhm.
doing
And
it.
The
then
other
you see
side-
what happens when he does, and it doesn't work out the way he thought it would.
Yeah.
But
It's
X-wing.
his
I mean,
first time
Bryce,
using
Bryce,
the dark side.
Mhm.
Bryce Dallas Howard listened to your X-wing. I mean, she had you in that one Mando episode.
Oh,
She got
I
you.
was yeah.
2-1.
Yeah. Unequivocally, we don't even have to count.
Ooh.
Number 2,
Unequivocally,
1.
abashedly.
All right. This next one here.
I was
Yeah.
actually
I know what
going to
Aiden's gonna
ask.
choose.
Oh God!
That's a joke.
I
Alright,
know what
Aiden.
I'm
Go
going to
with
choose, and I know what Aiden is going
All right,
to choose.
Aiden, would you like to talk about this scene again? No,
I
please-
really like the
please
speeder bike
don't.
scene. I
Clearly,
really
number
like it,
2
you
wins.
know? I was just talking about Palpatine and his whole little plan there. It has nothing to do with Anakin's piloting ability in a speeder bike chase. I think Anakin and Obi-Wan's banter is top tier.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
look at all
will
the
be going with
ones.
number 2.
Look at all the ones.
A
Mm-hmm.
lot of ones.
You could
I mean,
very easily do
Except
away with a
Aiden,
lot of that.
ironically.
I'm sorry, Django. The first time we
Probably
see
look
him
like a
fight a
total
Jedi.
hypocrite.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's not about spaceships.
This was really just so cool to see, like, someone who's not a Force user going toe to toe with the Jedi.
Oh god.
being a complete match
Yeah.
for the Jedi.
Literally. I like as a kid, I would constantly replay the scene
Yes.
because it was so cool, and the music too. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, the whole scene is just so good. I mean, obviously, like Boba. You know what? Django is probably slowly becoming my favorite character because of certain reasons, but
The death of a Boba file.
Like I gotta
I'm
pick
joking.
a
I still
different
love
set.
it.
You know, I had a friend where I'm telling him like Boba Fett's my favorite and all this, and every week we're talking, like every Wednesday we're actually talking about Boba Fett, and he's like, I'm realizing that the Mandalorian's actually your favorite character. I'm like, dude, come on, like. So I feel your pain, Strike. I'm like, please don't say that again.
Strike's gonna run out of Mandalorians here pretty quick.
I love how Obi-Wan though, like in that scene, when he's told to bring him in for questioning, he's just like, okay, and like
Whips out a lightsaber.
yeah, like
Yeah.
no question about it, and just goes for it.
Yeah, but also I like the fact that like in the entire scene. Well, first of all, Django tries. Well, I'll keep my distance and like blast him. I mean, he literally I think uses almost everything in his arsenal. I mean, first blasters and jetpack. And by the way, this is how you're supposed to fly with a jetpack, not in that bullshit in Book of Boba. Thank you. Uses his literally his rocket jetpack to blow Obi off his feet. And also, I like the fact that we saw his like actual like toe-to-toe combat skills, like them two just going hands-on without any weapons. Yeah. That's just such a good scene.
Some hands.
He gives credence to the fact that Mandalorians killed Jedi. You know what I mean? Like he fights like a Mandalorian that could kill a Jedi, which is beautiful.
And if you look,
we get an awesome callback when Django's getting into a ship. He hits his head on the door.
Does he? I have a whole video about if that is really true or not. I still don't know the answer though. So
it is true. You can hear the sound. You can hear the sound. It literally, we said chink sound. Yeah, I'm not joking.
Well,
I just like scene 2 more because I like seeing Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship.
Yeah,
I always enjoyed that scene.
Well,
You're not gonna silence me, Strike.
Silence.
Number one. This
One.
this battle here. And I'll show you guys just how poorly I put this together. It was actually the same one with the Revenge of the Sith.
The first one was a test.
It's a good thing because I was going to ask, did we just like because of that error lose that beautiful Obi Django fight? I was about to ask that.
Oh man. Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just say that these are actually some of the best, and I think we'll actually turn this into a YouTube poll for the rest of this. So we have the Obi-Wan and Django, that one. We have Anakin slaughtering the Tuskens, that one. We have
Clone Army.
It's the seismic charge.
Clone Army.
That's lying.
I forgot which one was
Imperials.
it.
Seismic.
It was seismic.
Mail-in ballots. It was fake. It was definitely the Clone Army.
And
I want to
then-
recount. I'm kidding.
I forgot,
Go
man.
back and
I'm a
stream.
terrible host.
Geonosis, one here.
They're both the Petronaki one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't believe you guys forgot a scene though.
I mean, there's a lot of scenes, but which
I don't
one?
like sand.
Oh yeah.
Hey, old buddy.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Go to old
Watto
Dexter.
versus Dex. That should have been.
You
I
know
don't think
what?
they needed to include Dexter because that obviously wouldn't have been debatable.
Justice for Jetster.
What do you know?
Dexter.
That actually.
Dexter has
Whoa.
the mustache.
What?
Whoa.
She's
glitching
seeing some
out.
behind the scenes stuff that's tripping her out. Okay, let's do one more giveaway, and then we're gonna actually roll off of that. That Dexter comment, which is gonna be good. So this is a 2-part giveaway here. So the first, it says for a Luke pin. Sorry if we're breaking up. I see it's kind of tripping out. So this is for a Luke pin and a Yoda pin. Do you want to read those so you can say what they say?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a good.
What's the word?
Okay, so Anakin says there's no chaos, there's harmony. And Yoda says there's no ignorance, there's knowledge.
I don't remember Anakin saying that.
It's from the Jedi Code, but
I mean, it's kind of whatever.
Well, it's not necessarily a quote, it looks like their quote.
It's from the Jedi
quote.
Code.
Yeah.
Is that Anakin or Luke?
Oh,
Luke.
it's
I can't
Luke.
tell.
Luke.
They
It
must
is
be
Luke.
similar.
Yeah, that's
He didn't really
And so-
seem to value the Jedi Code all that much.
I'm literally
Oh, my goodness.
tickling the keys like Elton John right now.
tickling the keys. Okay.
so this is gonna be for these 2 pins, and also for custom Star Wars art from Catherine LaSalle. This is gonna be really
Triggered.
sweet. I don't have a picture. If you don't know who Catherine LaSalle is, you should know she has beautiful Star Wars art. But type in AOTC to win the
Okay,
pins,
now people are typing in.
to win the art.
Makes
here's-
great
Well-
art. Kind of a jerk. Makes great art. Yeah.
Yeah, I can show it off.
Just kidding.
I got some art
Oh
too,
yeah,
I can
he's
show
got
off
it there
too.
in person. I'm gonna try and pull it up really quick as well.
Which one is it? Did you buy one of the prints?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Full screen.
Yeah, I like that one.
I
Oh
will.
wow.
That's nice.
That's nice.
That's nice. I gotta find trying to find her Star Wars prints so I
Oh,
don't
wow.
get
Look at the chat.
Everyone
While
wants this one.
Everyone
All
wants
lowercase, Padawan be. Do it again, lowercase.
Okay, so this is just an example of some of her art here. That's the one that T Money showed off. Yeah, she has some really cool stuff. I'm gonna be careful scrolling. She has some art school art.
Oh yeah, those
that may
ones.
get me in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what it is for these pins.
is that Benedict Cumberbatch wrong?
Yep.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, it is. Huh.
Nice.
And
Pretty
she
dope.
actually has an amazing video on Attack of the Clones.
Yes.
If you have not
One of
seen
my favorites.
that, yeah, it's
Why Attack the Clones is
absolutely
underrated.
incredible.
I haven't seen it.
It's one of her
really
older
good.
videos.
Yeah, I think it's just like 20 minutes of her just pouring her heart out
Constant.
about Attack
Yep.
of the Clones.
Nice.
It's really good. Okay, so we got a
Roll
lot
it.
of people in here.
Roll it.
I'm really hoping Matt Risman wins again. Maybe I shouldn't have said that just in case he wins.
You can just send
I will
everything in one
throw
package.
my
I mean, it's easy.
YouTube through the wall.
Oh, man.
YouTube.
Okay, here we go. Let's see who the winner is. Oh, congratulations, Melissa. You are
Congratulations.
the winner. Congratulations. You get the pins and you get the artwork and you get the satisfaction of knowing you disappointed this man.
How could you do this to me?
So Melissa, the best way, there's two ways you can contact us. Our email should be in the YouTube description, or not in the description, sorry, like on the about section, or join the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, hop in there and we can get the details to make sure these get shipped out to you, all of that stuff. And that's
T.
in the
Davidson,
description.
why are you
the chat.
clipping right now? Stop clipping, all right?
That's a good Omega accent.
Ooh. Ouch.
He's actually from New Zealand, and I'm pretty
Oh
sure
my god,
she's
that is
from-
like so offensive.
Is it
South-
Omega from New Zealand too?
She's from South Africa.
Mm,
All right,
confirmed.
next.
I feel like
All right.
I feel like that's not true.
Oh, you know-
but
One
Okay.
thing that I've recently thought about, which mainly came to mind because I was just, how it happens, thinking about that I never saw Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Sith in cinema, and I was just wondering for the people that
So
did
sad.
originally.
It was glorious.
Well, I mean, I'm sure, but one of the things that I thought must have been like just crazy, if you've seen the OT before it, would have been the first time we see just the silhouette of Django. But I mean, you don't really know if it's Django, I guess. I mean, you just see a silhouette of a guy that looks like Boba, and he has the jetpack, and I don't know. I thought that would have been probably a crazy one for me, but
Strike will know what I'm talking about. But I've always loved Anakin's lightsaber in Attack of the Clones. I always liked how it was really Darth Vader inspired, and you can totally tell that that's what he based his lightsaber off of.
He was the only one who didn't have any input on his
Yeah.
saber. He wasn't
Mm.
allowed to do anything with his saber because obviously it had to mirror Vader.
had to be a certain
Mhm.
way.
Yeah.
Right.
Strike, I would love to answer your earlier question. But
yes, thank you.
unfortunately, I
Not
knew-
derailing my question and just talking about Anakin. Thank you
So
very much.
I have to say,
No, I can talk about Anakin as much as I want.
so I have to say I had a similar experience as Matt gave actually, because around that time all those special screen theaters were opening nationwide here for the first time. So we waited outside of the brand new theater for hours to make sure that we got in, because back then you had to buy tickets on site, and
Yep.
back when I had to walk back and forth uphill snow and the whole 9 yards, right? But you had to wait there.
Can I get
Right,
one?
so we did. We saw it in 3D on one of the very first, digital screen, with the fancy sound, and that's nothing compared to what we had today. And everyone was really excited because it was the first time you saw like a non-Boba Fett Mandalorian, on screen, right? And then when they expounded upon that story further and you realized who that was, it was even more special, right? Because I didn't read the book or I can't remember if the novelization on that one came out before or after the movie. But I mean, I went in pretty cold, right? Not knowing at all what to expect, right? Just knowing, hey, here comes a Star Wars movie. Got to get there and wait outside 4 hours, right, to make sure we get in this brand new theater. And it was like the midnight showing and the whole 9 yards, right? So just going to the movies back then was a really different experience than it is now, right? Right now, it's no muss, no fuss. You show up, you sit down. It's like, here we go again, right? Back then, this was all still.
It
really
was
brand
just the end of the 1900s when we got our first digital thing. Honestly, dude, like there is nothing in this world that, like, I'm not gonna say words, but flagpole. When you hear an LAT come around the corner and spool up and head in to go take an attack run on some frickin' Trade Federation ships, and you're like, wah, wah, and then comes out, and then it's just, wah, and it's all aim above the fuel tanks, you know, wah.
Yes.
Deep dive, you also wanted.
I was actually only 5
Everybody's
when
like,
I went
shut
to
up,
see
dude.
Attack of the Clones in the IMAX. And it blew my mind. But actually, I loved Boba more than Jango. I was just so excited to see such a cool kid, almost my age at the time.
Cool.
That was it's like baby Boba Fett was so relatable and awesome to me.
Yeah, I agree.
I wasn't alive when Attack of the Clones came
Kill
out.
him, Dad! Get him!
I was a baby.
So let's do this. This is just a good way to just get
Triggered.
people fired up. Why not? 4 reasons why Attack of the Clones is the worst Star Wars movie.
Why do you always do this to me?
Why do you gotta do this?
Man, last time the most cheesiest
gonna be-
lines of the prequels. Like,
It's gonna
are
be
you
acting the
kidding me?
plot. That's gonna be 2 of the points mentioned. Watch.
No, it's better than that.
Okay.
So it's not Screen Rant.
I'm never coming on again.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But note the date, 2 years ago.
Wow.
Keep that in mind.
2 years ago.
Living
2 years ago.
rent free in your mind for over 20 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, it's 2 years ago. I'm sorry.
Look at just this line. We're not even into a point yet. The Phantom Menace is more boring than bad.
Ugh.
Revenge of the Sith is mostly very good.
Mostly very good.
Mostly very good. Okay. Reason number 1.
I'm gonna slap this guy.
Wait a minute.
There was a certain line.
Keep going on that.
We keep going on this?
Did you not see that?
Oh, or how? I mean, wait. How do I go back? No.
What?
This is not what.
No.
Okay, just move on.
Okay. What? Now that we're up.
What is it?
Says
You told me to go back.
The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi both are very entertaining films.
No, okay, we're not doing this. We're not doing this.
We need to get rid of this article.
Come on.
So
it's
it means that we don't have to take anything he says with any grain of salt.
Exactly. Yeah.
The
Okay.
Yoda scene in The Last Jedi is tops.
Anakin's relation.
So our job is to rebuttal these
Yeah,
Okay.
or maybe all of our minds are gonna change.
Yeah.
from this article.
We'll see.
This man has the truth. You'll see.
Okay,
Char-
so-
Charlie
excited.
feels our pain.
So-
And Moore is like, I heard too much. I'm out.
Okay, so Obi-Wan and Anakin's relationship. Let me zoom in here a little bit so we can read this
That's
better.
kind of hard to read.
There we go. Anakin and Obi-Wan's relationship was completely butchered in the prequels, and it all started in Attack of the Clones. Anakin is depicted as a whiny, arrogant, and spoiled teenager. Not even 10 minutes into the film, he openly disrespects Obi-Wan and is then given a tongue lashing. Their relationship is definitely a strained one.
That line.
Never once in the film does one get the sense that Obi-Wan enjoys being around Anakin. Sure, he questions his nightmares and half-handedly gives him some advice on dealing with them, but even then seems more annoyed than concerned. It's really too bad, as their strong friendship should be the heart and soul of the last 2 films of the prequel trilogy. Anakin actually has a better relationship with Palpatine than he does with Obi-Wan.
This
Kind of
is
the
the
point.
Yes,
plot of the
that's.
whole-
Have you seen Star Wars?
Palpatine is clearly his confidant and genuinely
Yes!
looks interested in what Anakin has to say.
Because he wants to use him.
So the plot.
is
Obviously,
literally
he
just a
has
summary of the
sinister
movie.
intentions, but it's not surprising seeing that Anakin would ultimately choose Sheev instead of Obi-Wan. If Anakin and Obi-Wan had a friendship similar to that of Luke and Han, their final battle in Episode 3 would have been all the more gut-wrenching and heartbreaking.
What?
Han and Luke generally seemed to like each other, and it was easy to believe in seeing the way they interacted with each other. Instead, we get a whiny teenager who argues with a reluctant parent, and it is extremely tough to watch at times.
Can you go up real
Han
quick?
literally
Because there
chose
was
money over Luke.
something that they said. Hold on. Was arrogant and spoiled. You're calling the guy that grew up as a slave arrogant and spoiled.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
maybe
arrogant,
think about
maybe.
that one
Spoiled.
again. Spoiled, definitely not.
I
Arrogant,
love the
maybe,
line.
but
Yeah,
It's not even
but that
10
would
minutes
be
into the
within
film.
his character to be arrogant.
I
right.
just love how they say Obi-Wan and Anakin have a strained relationship. It's like, yeah, it ends with Anakin killing Obi-Wan. It's a little bit strained.
So,
And I
think-
mean, Obi-Wan
think-
cuts off his legs and one arm, so yeah, it leaves him to burn.
So the odd thing to me about
To
He's
die.
given a tongue lashing.
the odd thing to
Never
me
heard
about
that phrase used before.
what they wrote is they understand the exact premise of the relationship, and everything they're saying is wrong with it is exactly the points that were trying to be conveyed. So I have
Yeah.
a little problem with what's wrong with it.
They're like, I wish Anakin and Obi-Wan were friends. And that's
It was
basically their
kind
whole
of
point.
Really
it
are.
was kind of them like just explaining the story and then saying, yeah,
I
that's
don't
why
like
it
that
sucks.
personally.
Yeah.
And it's
Like,
like, you know, that's not an
No, that's the
objective fact.
point.
That's just you.
You don't like
Right.
the story.
Hmm.
What I get from their relationship is that they do like each other. I see them like kind of like brothers, and they like bicker and stuff a little
Bicker.
bit.
Happens
But
all
like,
the time.
there's a
think
love.
that-
I've seen in the film is them like having a. They're both like, you can totally tell that they're like, Obi-Wan's like, oh yeah, I fell into that nest of Gundars, and Anakin's like, no, I rescued you, man. You can
Right.
totally see that they're like comfortable with each other.
That's
Yeah. I
think it
essentially
At least to an
the
extent.
point
Yeah.
that they are more
Yeah.
like brothers. That Obi-Wan
Exactly
is
my
more the bigger
point.
brother to Anakin, but Anakin would have needed that Qui-Gon, that father figure.
That's Star Wars.
literally
Nah,
the point.
Anakin is spoiled and is often given tongue lashings, I guess.
I think actually the author even missed the point more than we're talking about, because it's like his thing is if they were friends from the beginning, it would have more impact. But the way it's originally made, it's like
They weren't.
they don't
They
like
weren't.
each other at the beginning, and then they become friends, and
Yeah.
then it breaks. which makes
Literally,
it,
the
like,
closest
even
they
more.
were was shortly before Anakin fell to the dark side, so it hurts even more.
Yes.
Exactly.
They
yeah.
learn how to grow together. They're not
Yep.
gonna be perfect at the very beginning.
Hmm.
I mean, to be fair, they had 10 years off screen, but they're
Right.
still they
They have a
really
lot more
bond
learning to
over the
go.
Clone Wars and stuff.
I would die, honestly, for a Rogue One just for, like, between Episode 2 and 3, honestly.
Yes.
I mean, if we got,
I wouldn't.
well, never mind. I was gonna say if we got like, you could get 10 seasons out of a show, but the way shows are going, I'm not even.
Yeah, let's not.
Nah,
get
let's
shows. Yeah.
You want
Alright, so-
more,
Don't
you
want
have
anything
to
else
Republic
ruined.
Comics. That's what you
So
got.
that's just number one.
Oh,
Let's
Okay.
here we go.
let's feel number two. An unbelievable love story.
Unbelievably.
Let's see this. The worst part of Attack of the Clones is the forced and uncomfortable love story between Anakin and Padme. When they first meet again after 10 years, Anakin immediately goes full creeper on her. She flat out tells him how uncomfortable she is, and he continues to stare at her with creepy stalker eyes.
Okay, that's totally true though.
That is fair.
Again, he's got the point
Again with the
written
story
down.
summary.
But,
This guy just
but
doesn't like
again,
the story.
it's the point of Anakin. He doesn't know
Yeah.
how to interact with people and like
Exactly.
show his
Exactly.
emotion. It's
Spent the
literally
last,
the
Oh,
point.
spent the last 10 years in a temple full of like people who are like, nah, you can't do this. Like they never
Mhm.
taught Anakin how
I feel
to
like
be,
this
they never
guy
taught Anakin how to human.
Right.
And definitely not how to flirt or date because
Yeah.
I mean it's literally
You're
a
not
temple full of
It's like
virgins.
forbidden. You're forbidden.
Well,
So let's continue on with this. Anakin is later assigned to protect her and then accompanies her to Naboo. They actually have some normal interactions on the way there, but no real sparks between the two. Then, as they talk to her former counsel, Anakin actually becomes verbally abusive to her. After pointing out Anakin
What?
is just
Might be a strong word for that scene.
After pointing out Anakin is just a Padawan learner, she suggests where they could hide out. He then angrily tells her he's in charge of security, and
Oh my god, he's such a toxic male.
And the rest of the members of the Naboo High Council give him a "what the hell is wrong with this guy" kind of look. Then it cuts to the lake scene where Anakin then delivers his famous sand soliloquy. I'm no
Such a good
relationship
word.
expert.
Such a
Yeah,
good
they were
line.
proud of that. I'm no relationship
tell that
expert,
there's
but
no
most women I
relationship
know wouldn't suddenly kiss a guy who just belittled her in front of her former council members. It's an extremely jarring juxtaposition and makes one wonder what the heck is wrong with Padme's judgment of men and people in general.
Oh my
Things
gosh.
then escalate after a dinner
dinner
of
of
pears.
Of course, they're gonna bring up the pears.
Yes, because all they eat is pears.
I will
That's
say
Naboo
he feeds
cuisine.
her the butt end of a pear. So
Yeah, who does that?
as Anakin professes his deep and painful love for Padme that torments his very soul, she shoots him down, and they later go to Tatooine where she finds out he slaughtered a bunch of Tusken Raiders. The murdering doesn't seem to matter to her because not much later on she professes her love back to him as they are brought out for execution on Geonosis. This love story is so forced and happens so quickly that it is just completely unbelievable. The only reason they fall in love is because the story requires it and not from anything that happens between them in the actual film.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like the love story
Has
is
this dude seen
definitely
Attack of the Clones?
not ideal, but I feel like he just wrote down all the parts where they don't get along and just kind of skipped
Yeah.
over all the parts where they do get along, and then
Right.
just like
I
cherry
guess he
picked.
verbally abuses her.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, he's like
He's
I
a-
disagree, and it's like verbal abuse.
Strange
Okay,
view of verbal
Can I
abuse.
say something here that maybe
Yeah.
people may or may not appreciate? If I met a gal, okay,
Oh no.
All right.
I'm 19 years old, and I meet a gal who comes from humble origins, and then I get whisked away once we're both of age, and she starts showing me all kinds of force powers, and she's like, "I've been in love with you since the day I met you," and feeds me a pear through the air. I'm falling for her.
Yeah.
Bar none, hands down, 100%. Like, write me a ticket. I'm gonna put a ring on it. Let's go. Did you just hear Mrs. X-Wing?
No.
From the other room, she goes, "Excuse me."
She has no context to what's going on, and that's what she hears.
All she hears is he's gonna
X-Wing,
put a
like,
ring on.
yeah, I would put a ring on it.
He's like, listen to me, these Jedi women.
These
Jedi women.
She gonna come in here and beat the heck out of me here in a minute.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, it
man.
happened. It happened so quickly, right? What, 9, 10 years? How many years? How many years did they know each other? I'm like,
I think too something
Well-
people miss is they all know like, oh, Anakin's this awkward shy guy who doesn't know what he's doing, but Padme's also kind of an awkward shy girl
Yeah.
in just
Yeah.
a bunch of
Mhm.
formal situations.
Because
who doesn't know what
she-
she's doing.
Yeah.
She hasn't had any time to actually. So if
Yeah.
we're counting the Clone Wars, she has Clovis as one. There's something in Legends where there's this guy that like has a fling for her, but nothing actually happens with that. So she's never
Yeah.
actually dated anybody.
Yeah.
She spent
I mean,
her whole life like on the political side,
Yeah.
right? And all of a sudden you got this very attractive guy telling you how he's loved you forever. Okay, like yeah, that
Yep.
could be creepy, but at the same time, it's also endearing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so I don't think people understand that as well, that they're both kind of new
No,
to
yeah.
that.
And I-
world.
Flip the roles,
Right.
So
dude.
Anakin is
And-
completely confident and like openly
And-
tells
and, like,
her all the time
and-
that he loves her.
Yeah, and then one of the things is that like people mention that she like wears a lot of like dresses that are like very attractive. Like, why would she do that if she doesn't want him to act on his feelings? But she does. That's the point. She's logically saying I can't be with him, but she does. That's what
yeah.
girls do.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Well, it's
not
not like
all
she's
girls.
wearing lingerie.
Yeah,
She's
no.
wearing a royal garb.
no, but she is. She does like the fire scene. She is wearing a very
You could
Like,
also
it-
just say that's like a
expressive.
You know that
Naboo
George
fashion.
Lucas
Sexy
actually
dress?
designed that
yeah.
dress?
You wouldn't wear that just because.
And also,
It's
I think
true.
there are always like two sides of things because I mean, yeah, on the one hand, like, well, or I think the one thing is that Anakin is very honest about
Exactly.
his feelings.
he's confident in
And
it
on the
with his
one side, that
feelings, too.
can feel creepy at times, but on the other hand, it is very, very truthful and very, very just impactful, emotional. So
Yeah. Especially when her whole life's been
it's
in
not that
politics.
far-fetched that you would appreciate that about a person.
And we never see Padme in like a revealing outfit. I mean,
Yeah.
the most revealing outfit we get was Petronaki Arena, and that's conservative at best by today's standards. She's
Well, and
wearing
it's-
pants and a crop top.
Well, it wasn't her plan. You know,
Yeah, she got sliced.
Yeah,
It wasn't her
she didn't
fault.
say I'm gonna show off my belly here.
Yeah.
She didn't bring her "I'm kidnapped and about to die" attire, right? So she
Yeah.
had to make, she had to make do with what she was wearing.
I'm just
I'm gonna die looking good.
I'm just reminded, even with our relationship, how we started. You came on pretty strong, and it didn't freak me out. Like, I liked it.
Oh,
It worked.
He said like we were
What
like
did I say? Oh gosh.
I was 17
Do you
and he
like
was
sand?
16. But he said like a month in, he said, "I want to be with you forever. Like I want to marry you. Like I love you."
That's adorable.
I know. That's what. And look at us now.
He's a
So
complete creep. You should get rid of him.
This was just shoehorned in for the sake of
Obviously,
the story.
this entire channel.
this is just for the storyline.
Love story.
But obviously, we had some normal interactions on the way there, but there were no real
man,
sparks
Chase is
between
just
us.
reeling it back as hard as he can.
Why don't you just go ahead and skip to the next one?
There we go.
Yeah, we're done.
Wait,
I think the case is closed.
Horrible
animation.
Horrible animation.
And by the way,
What?
isn't it ironic that with horrible animation they showed probably one of the most beautiful shots in the entire movie?
Literally, though.
It's kind of
Mhm.
ironic. I mean, they
Even
could have at least
ironic.
tried and like
Size
get a
of
shot
guard
where it looks
power.
bad,
Mhm.
but
That's so true. It is called courting. Here we go.
Horrible animation, though. I feel like this is the most egregious.
Yeah.
This movie is beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. it
So,
is. Camino.
one glaring issue with Attack of the Clones that
You're a
doesn't
glaring
hold.
issue.
Oh wow. That doesn't hold up over the
Yeah,
years.
she
is
said
the
it.
Poor animation and special effects. There are two scenes that stick out like a sore, pulsating thumb.
What?
The
Pulsating
first.
thumb?
See, I can't mute you because then I mute me. Okay, where is it? The first is on Naboo, where Anakin rides the weird-looking giant anteater-like beast. The second is the
Tell
scene
me
where
you know
some of the
nothing about
senators.
Star Wars. The
Yes.
giant anteater. Wow.
Obviously,
Yeah.
doesn't know anything about
X-Wing dude, I feel ya.
The second is the scene where some of the senators and Palpatine overlook the clones.
I love that scene.
How is that bad animation?
Let's journey back to Naboo first. Anakin and Padme are having one of their usual awkward conversations. The scene ends and we cut to something else. We go back to the young picnickers and suddenly Anakin is surfing on top of a wild Nubian beast. The animation is poor and it looks
Nubian?
completely fake.
Nubian?
Nubian, we got a lot of those.
Yes, Nubian.
And it takes the viewer out of the scene and movie altogether.
doesn't.
No, it
Thankfully, it doesn't last
Looks
too
pretty
long,
good, actually.
and Anakin falls off the critter and fakes being hurt, so Padme can come to his rescue. I know George Lucas really wanted to incorporate as much CGI as possible in the prequels, but this scene just didn't turn out, and it was unnecessary, so it should have been cut.
No, it wasn't.
No.
The second case of horrible animation is the introduction of the Grand Army of the
Oh
Republic.
my god.
Maybe it's not fair to say the
Need to
animation
throw
is bad. It's just that it looks like animation. We are at the end of a live-action film, and suddenly we get a scene that looks like it came out of the Clone Wars cartoon. The movie suddenly
Disrespect.
the movie suddenly flips from being live-action to a cartoon, and it is very jarring to see. It would have made more sense to actually have an actor in a suit
Oh,
and
yeah,
then
just like a
replicate him
couple
over
thousand
and
people.
over
Yeah, a couple
CGI. Instead of going straight up anime style. I get what George was trying to do,
Anime?
but the end result didn't
What?
look real at the time of the film's release, and it looks even worse 20 years later.
I'm
sorry, is-
about
Oh
to
my
go
God.
slap
Is this
the
guy a
out of this guy.
director?
Honestly, hey, does
What
someone,
movies
like-
has he made?
Let me guess, none.
Can
Exactly.
we like
Go back
research
to
his address
2002.
and like just like suit up in like full clone armor cosplay and like fucking 501st raid his house? Can we?
Man, he must not be a
There's
lot of fun
probably
if you
a woman.
rewatch like Terminator or something.
No, I have an honest question. Can we find whoever wrote this and ask them, do they prefer this horrible animation or the Grand Inquisitor that was in the Kenobi trailer? I would like to know. if
Say
they're
that.
Practical, so
Nice.
What did he say?
I like that.
I could see if he wants to come on a stream.
No.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yes, please, so we can just
And
show
pull
him how
up-
stupid he is.
Pull up
Thanks.
his article. Oh man.
Well, even I
So-
love how even in the picture he has right here, you can see so much detail in each
Mhm.
individual clone and its pose
Literally.
So
and
good.
its armor and everything.
Every
Okay,
room is lit.
also, it looked good at the time.
Yes.
Like, no one
on the
said it
screen,
didn't.
On that
It's like-
first digital screen, it
Looks
looked in
good
3D.
now.
It looked
And
Yeah.
it does
Looks
still look
good
good,
now.
but like
It
if
holds
it
up
was,
to today just fine.
he
Can
wouldn't
I be
saying
honest?
this-
I didn't know it was animation till now.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
learned that.
Thank
recently
you.
Too, actually.
So
As a kid, I did not
I don't
think
get it.
those were animated. At some point, like my
Me
dad
neither.
was like, "Yeah, those aren't real." Like, what?
I mean, with the frame frozen
Yeah,
like
what?
with the frame frozen like this, it's quite noticeable, right? But in the context of how it appeared in the movie, it fit just fine.
yes.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it's a stylized shot with the lighting, but
Yeah.
it's Coruscant and it's a made-up
it's a
planet.
space
Who the
opera.
fuck knows how the environment looks there? I mean,
Strike, temper your mouth.
Well,
they're
and
not monetized.
And
And-
this is
let's see. There was one thing that I saw that, gosh, where was it? I don't know, but it was where it was saying like, oh, this. It would have made more sense to actually have an actor in a suit and then replicate him over and over.
That would have
when
looked
that's
so
literally
fake if
CGI.
To
That
be
was
fair,
so
Like-
That too.
they did that in Revenge of the Sith for the Wookiees.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And it's, I mean, even Lord of the Rings, like the way that they would create like a certain amount of models with real people and CGI and duplicate it. Like, unless you have like truly an army standing there, like there's going to be some artifacts, I suppose. But I mean, even when you look at this is like not even a full 1080p picture. It looks great.
yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And also like just the Attack of the Clones in general, just the scale is so much larger than anything else that we saw at Star Wars at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And then it even got bigger. with-
Actually, the problem is that the acclimators had their engines fired up right there. It would have killed all the clones.
Oh.
Oh man. All right. Well, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do the fifth one or the fourth one, I suppose, and then we will end on a really cool positive note.
Good.
So we don't just get all
Thank the Force.
I need it.
fired up.
Oh no.
Oh, my
okay.
I'm out.
God.
Okay.
Strike.
This guy.
No.
Young-
Children.
Oh wait.
This is just.
I was gonna.
Youngling.
I should have done this,
Strike.
but I mean, you saying that was his,
It
one of
was
his favorite parts.
That was, by the way, for the
You can see
article,
the
not
anger
for
on
you
his face.
putting me on.
Okay, here we go. Young Boba Fett. One would have thought that George Lucas would have learned his lesson about having child actors in Star Wars. Ooh, after the backlash that Jake Lloyd got for his portrayal of
How is that George
Anakin
Lucas's fault?
in the
Yeah.
Phantom Menace. He either didn't get wind of those or didn't care, as he again thought it'd be a good idea for Star Wars fans to see an iconic character as a young child. He was wrong. Young
Smack
Boba
this
Fett is a
boy
very bland character who is horribly acted by
What?
Daniel Logan.
Wow.
Totally
I guess this
disagree.
guy is one of the people who bullies the child actors.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
are a bully.
Yeah, he's probably like the reason
a
why
straight
Jake
up
Lloyd is
bully.
where he is.
For some reason, young Boba Fett can only talk in whispers. It's not so apparent in the apartment when he
Your
meets
point?
Obi-Wan, but more so later in the chase through the asteroid field. Young Fett is supposed to be excited and cheering his dad on. I guess he is, but his lines are delivered in basically whispers. He even laughs in a whisper. It's very odd, distracting, and a little cringy.
I've never noticed that.
There really
Yeah,
isn't anything that sticks out about young Boba Fett, as he He's as bland as the generic blue clone issued jumpsuit he wears.
I wonder why.
We were told that Jango Fett required an unaltered clone, and that honestly would have been enough backstory for Boba Fett. We didn't need to see Boba, or at least as much as we did. He definitely didn't need to have lines, and if he did have to, then having a director that could have coaxed a better performance out of him would have been helpful. One of the best parts about Boba Fett was the mystery that surrounded him, and it turns out his backstory really isn't all that exciting.
Are you serious?
Not that exciting.
Underrated comment.
I want to. So, did the same person write all these articles?
It's one article.
Oh, this is one
This is
article
all
that
one
you have
article,
to, that you
5
have to
pages.
click through.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he's making you work for reading all this bullshit.
Is it a boy or a girl?
It is a
think
guy.
it's a
I won't
guy.
scroll up.
It's a boy.
I want to know the name, not for
It was
any
at the
particular
beginning.
reason, but just to see.
Hey,
Who is
It just
that?
seemed like a woman to me.
I typed
Pablo
in,
Hidalgo.
I typed in why Attack of the Clones is bad and started reading some articles.
Trash, you mean?
True. Wow, this one
I
got
don't
you
even
guys
know what
silent.
this-
Yeah, get to the
okay,
good-
I have a
where's the
comment.
good
I have a
stuff?
comment. I think when he
so
says,
unnecessary.
well, it's interesting that he's like, oh no, Boba Fett is. He's like Boba Fett's whispering all the time, but
Was
also
this off
he's
Dork
bland.
Side?
It's like
Dork,
Yeah.
dork side of the force.
Fan
Yeah, okay.
sided.
he wants Boba Fett to be so expressive, but Boba Fett is not an
Is
expressive
not.
character.
Exactly.
Like, that's the opposite of his entire character.
Look at that
He's super
lame
reserved.
mustache.
Like literally, you can see that he's very much looking up to his dad and is like, well, trusting in what he teaches him and tells him, and that is literally like he doesn't have a lot of lines because he is a kid.
Mhm.
He's not Boba Fett yet.
Yeah, it's not his backstory
It's not-
movie. It's about
Exactly.
Anakin.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know what's crazy is that this guy only writes Star Wars. This isn't like
Really?
somebody who
Oh, really?
sometimes like I pick out people who write like one article about Star Wars. This is somebody who writes nothing but
I got
Star
it.
Wars.
I got it. He's a Star Trek fan.
It's sabotage.
What do you mean by that?
He's got a super lame mustache, I'll tell you that much.
What's wrong with Star Trek?
No, nothing's wrong with Star Trek.
Oh, okay.
I'm just joking.
Star Wars is
Okay.
better.
Oh my god.
man.
The ongoing fight with Star Trek and Star Wars. I'm just joking.
Let
I'm
me
gonna
make
punch
sure.
this guy in the Clovis.
Okay,
Yes.
so I think we can all agree that that is just a completely ridiculous thing.
I
But here,
will say though, it is interesting. He didn't, and maybe it keeps going and going, and he gets there, right? But he didn't pick up on any of the reasons why people say it's normally a bad movie.
yeah,
Right.
Mm.
Right. It's almost like he purposely chose
Right.
other things.
I also
Mhm.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that like most of the time he proved himself wrong.
I know.
He was
It's
trying to
something.
be edgy and have something creative that no one else had, but
Well, yeah.
it
Yeah,
wasn't
so-
accurate, and he just talked himself out of it.
If
I mean, he
if
did do the
this is
generic
his
love story
content,
one, which
and
I
he writes
assume-
exclusively about Star Wars, this might just be he's running out of things to negatively say about
He's
Attack of
running
the
out of
Clones.
ideas.
Oh, that's such a good point. I got this ad on Instagram saying like Screen Rant was hiring, right? And I'm like, maybe I'll do it like secretly, you know, get some of that cheddar, right? So I'm looking at the requirements. It is insane. What you have to,
Really?
you have to write 60 articles a month.
Oh
Like-
my god.
So,
So-
no wonder this guy, he's
So-
got
No
a.
wonder the
I'm like-
quality is low.
Literally, if you write every day, that's almost 2 a day. That's and like it had to be like 500 to 1,000 words. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think it kind of speaks to what we read.
I mean, it's like
you know.
it's the equivalent of like a YouTube grifter, but for writing articles, right? You just try to find bad stuff so that you have something to write, and then hopefully people engage in it.
That's probably more like it. He lost to Daniel Logan. That's why.
Yeah.
Asshole.
like
But deep dive. I know you got to take off, my man. You have actually a really incredible channel as well.
Yes.
So
Oh, thank you.
if you hate what we just looked at.
Go to deep
but
dive.
Go to deep dive.
But you want like really unique takes on Star Wars? Seriously,
Hopefully
check
one's
out.
better than that.
Yeah, it's far, far better. Check out.
Bob Chapek out.
Bob Chapek out. Deep Dive's channel. Yeah, because he has some really, really cool things.
Yep.
And I'll make sure we get a link to his stuff in the chat here. But yeah.
I'm pretty sure he played Chewbacca too in the new movies because like
Deep dive?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I did tell you guys.
I got to meet the guy. He's like 7 foot, big old like Norwegian. I mean, he's,
That's why I have to hide my face. I'm just actually Chewbacca.
But he really does have cool videos. I'm more than thankful enough to be in one of his as Ben, right? Ben Kenobi?
Yes.
Yeah. Never thought I would do a Ben.
You did good.
That's awesome, man. Well, have a good rest of your night, man.
Thank you, guys. See ya. Bye.
Bye.
See you.
And we're almost done, so we're on our last thing.
Last thing.
Okay.
Last thing here. Very, 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 very positive.
I swear, if he pulls up Screen
Super
Rant,
cool.
I'm out.
Super cool here. I found this. I found this very interesting. So it's going into reasons that the concept art was the way that it was in Attack of the Clones, and I think it's just really wonderfully done. And we'll just go through these.
Look at that McCory lightsaber.
Yes,
I know.
beautiful.
Man, it's so good. I wanna get all of the these the art.
I
of-
like that Django has like sort of the cape, like Boba, in the concept art.
I hated the paint job on the Slave One. I didn't like Django's paint job.
I actually enjoyed it more than.
I don't know.
I hate
I
it.
like both.
I like
Boba's.
I appreciate both.
You like
I like the fact that you can like differentiate the timeline of the ship.
Yeah,
That's
that
true.
I do
That's
appreciate.
true.
Yeah.
Okay, so this first one here, the clone trooper classrooms are a reference to, Lucas's first film,
Lucas.
THX 1138. So here's the concept art.
Silencio, Bruno.
Dude,
It's pretty
I love Luca.
But then where is it? Oh yeah, here it is. I gotta zoom out a little bit. Okay, so here, episode 2, Attack of the Clones in THX 1138. So it was just cool, to see the concept art here, and that I'm totally drawing a blank on who the actual artist was. I feel really bad. Anyway.
Well, I think this would have been Doug Chang and those folks, right? I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of them are still there.
Yeah.
He was like the
For
main
Attack?
guy for the prequels in general.
Yeah, he started he was hired on with Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah.
And then he just kept going and going, and he moved into Attack of the Clones. So.
But I wouldn't even be sure that it's just one, because I mean in the prequels they had I mean, I don't
Yeah,
know,
there's a team.
20 concept artists that were constantly working on stuff. So
Yeah, and so that I just think that's a really cool callback, just to honor George, and to point it there. And then this is cool. The design of Coruscant, the idea of an imperial city, was dabbled with as an idea by George Lucas during the pre-production of Return
Remember,
of
it
the
was
Jedi.
Coruscant then.
Coruscant. It's so weird to listen to all the behind-the-scenes things and hear
They call it
George
Coruscant.
say
Yes,
everything
I don't
different.
get that. How do you mess that up?
Like what? There's people's names he would say different too, and I'm like,
Yeah, they only
Yeah.
changed Coruscant to Coruscant in the filming of Phantom Menace.
hmm.
And they're like, no, it's Coruscant now. And they're like, what? Because all the old audiobooks, they still say it. They still say Coruscant, and it just
Coruscant.
it claws at your ears when you hear it.
Yeah, it does.
But yes, seeing this and even what they're talking about is with Blade Runner, Heir to the Empire, just some things that they wanted to capture in it. And so here's what they wanted for the lower levels. Man, and I just love it, just as a sci-fi fan, to be able to see
Yeah.
that comparison, like we were talking about earlier, to see it all bright and then to see it dark and neon and all that, man. Super cool. This one's really fun with Anakin's yellow speeder here. when it's dealing with American graffiti as well. So like you can see his,
that is how you integrate American graffiti in Star Wars, not like they did with Vespas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, and
that's how you do it.
And like
it's
this,
not on the nose.
And this doesn't bother me at all because it fits. You know,
am I
it's
hearing
like
a truck?
Yeah, I don't know.
Not on my end, surprisingly.
I hear it too. It's weird.
Does
Magneto grabs his phone. He's like,
There's so many weird noises when everybody has a microphone.
Yeah, my phone was vibrating.
It's all good.
Sorry.
You're good, man. This one is maybe one of my favorites. This one is really cool. So this was the original concept art for Dooku. So
which is Ventress.
Yep.
And so it's just very interesting how it all played out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so even like when Lucas made the decision that Dooku was a man, the design. Oh, there's his last name. I can't remember if it's Luke. I can't remember his first name.
Austin.
Anyway, Austin. But then they used that for Ventress. Man, such a good article with so many spelling errors.
That one shot of the concept art is literally the same shot of Ventress in the Tartakovsky Clone Wars when she's down there with the lightsabers.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just and I think like use the beauty that you have already existing in the universe. Like if you want to create a non-binary character, use Asajj Ventress, and it's not a he or a her or whatever. It's just this like alien thing that has mammary glands, but no real like specified, no real specified gender though. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then you can use that easily, and nobody's gonna flip a lid over it.
I think this surprisingly, this is the second one of the whole stream. I'm so excited for this.
Taking pictures of people that stop by.
All the illegal drugs you do in your garage?
Oh, there's no illegal drugs in my garage.
Oh, yes, there is, and there's evidence of it.
Hello there.
Hello.
I was waiting for the context.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
One of the best hello there is for sure.
my gosh.
I have another one that if I don't know.
What
I
would
showed
be
it
the
to-
Somebody's gonna purposely do it now.
I love it.
But what would be the appropriate General Grievous response to that? That's the question.
I don't know. Do you guys just want it just because you guys want to see the
Send
third
it,
one?
just send it, yeah,
Sure.
please.
The
I
Mrs.
need
left,
it.
so I can show it. I showed it to
Give
her, and she was like, "Well, that was weird." Okay.
There you go.
Here we go.
Oh, hello there. I know what ticks me off. But this is where the real fun comes in.
What? Why can't he?
You know what that looked like? It looked like one of those ridiculous memes average puts
sometimes
out.
that's
an average meme. That's an average meme for sure.
Sometimes you do scare me a little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie.
I remember when I learned what the young kids, when they do the when the memes, and I'm like, when the what? And they're like, that's the meme, is that it says when the and nothing else happens. I'm like, that's not a meme. When the...
When the what?
The timing couldn't have been better when she left. Yeah, these are some 4 a.m. memes. That's all I got for today.
4 a.m. memes. Yeah.
So I looked it up, Mr. Two Star Wars Nerds, just so you know, the very first beautiful shot of Slave One, that was a Doug Chang design.
Oh,
nice.
That's awesome. So that one at the top,
Yeah,
is Doug Chang.
Yeah, and he's still doing it, and a lot of the rest of these is Ryan Church and Mark Cotaves and these folks. The only reason I know a lot of these folks is I can pull out the Art of Mandalorian 2 book, and all their designs are there. They're still Lucasfilm.
I love the behind the scenes documentary on the prequels, like just the whole, because like I'm also like into art and stuff, and like just seeing like these people just like brainstorming designs. I think my favorite one is probably the spray bottle. Yeah, I saw a face in there, and I'm just going to and create a General Grievous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's awesome. All right, so we have the arena battle monsters. Obviously, you know, calling back to some more kind of like classic fantasy with this.
My friend, I have to leave.
Oh yeah, no worries, man.
Sorry.
If you're here and you don't know who X-Wing is, I don't know how that's possible, but you should go sub to him and join his Discord as well, man. He has awesome community and awesome stuff over there.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, we've known each other since the heady days of 4 or 5 subs.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Is it true?
Long time friends. On
YouTube. Yes.
I love you, man. Before I leave, I did want to plug one thing.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube screwed my buddy here. And so before you leave tonight, go on Patreon and go put $5. It's a cup of coffee to support my buddy, 2 Star Wars Nerds, and his wonderful lady, Mrs. 2 Star Wars Nerds, because they deserve it, man. They deserve it.
Thanks,
they put
man.
a lot of work into this channel. They put a lot of love into the Star Wars universe. They do a lot of good things. So go to Patreon.com/2 Star Wars Nerds and put your cup of coffee on the table. All right.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
I love you guys. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, man. See ya. So here, we got this just really cool stuff with this concept art, you know, with Geonosis. That's like, I want to get this like framed, and you know, like this stuff is just.
These are Ryan Church.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these are just fantastic. You know, just captures it so, and like literally, it just goes from the concept art onto the screen. Like it's just that good.
That is literally a scene in the movie, like that pillar all broken there on the side.
Yeah, and so this stuff is just like incredible and really awesome. And I don't know about you guys, but I love looking at the concept art. One of my favorite things, to be fair, one of my favorite things that Disney's been doing with the shows is putting the concept art at the end. I think that's just been an awesome addition, because I mean, previously you'd have to like just kind of scramble to find on the internet or get these art books and things like that, or the making of. All this stuff is super, super cool. But that, I feel like we're ending on that positive note where it's like, okay, we've recovered from the from the nonsense that was there.
And just to pile on and to remember, right, because we sometimes, I mean not sometimes, we often go to a negative place, right, when we talk about Disney and current Lucasfilm, etc. There are many people still working at Lucasfilm who have been working there for 20 years, right, and they continue to put their heart and soul into these projects to the extent that they're able to contribute. They're every bit as wonderful now as they were then, right? And I think we hear a lot of the negativity that's related to a certain subset that are very vocal on social media and some of the other stuff, and all these other hidden heroes, right, that are back there trying to make things that we love. They don't get any love, right? And that's why I kept saying, I mean, these folks are still. You look at the concept art from that they put out for Bad Batch, you'll find these same people's names attached to that concept art. And The Mandalorian, and I don't know if they'll have the nerve to put out anything for Book of Boba Fett, but assuming they do, right, and it comes in more
but even for Book of Boba Fett, I mean, and oftentimes in the concept art, they're not using like Boba's now look. Oftentimes it's the OT. I think mainly the Empire look they chose for him. So I see you guys. I see you.
Well, for them, that's what Boba Fett's supposed to look like, right? They took the source material and they said, all right, you want to see him recovering his Slave One in Jabba's hangar? Here's how Boba Fett looks. Here's how the Slave Ones always looked. Here's how we believe that. Let's put it all together, and here it is. Right. I mean, so yeah, but you can look online, you'll find all these same names in what they did release. It's just amazing to me, right? These folks really, really love what they do. If you ever have an opportunity to go online and see any of the videos where they're at a celebration panel or just talking about it, they're just glowing with pride. and they really, really love the franchise, and I think that's
100%.
special.
Dude, that's well said. You know, that's a good reminder, because that's what's hard. And I know, like, there's just been a lot of people where it's like, we want to be excited about Star Wars, you know, and it's, if we can just cultivate that however we can, man, that's the way we should do that.
Heroes on both sides.
So let's do this as we end. I want to plug all of you for whatever you would like to plug. We can start with you, T Money. I'm going to put Battlefront themes in the chat right there.
All right.
Yeah, so go ahead as we close this out.
Yep. 2 channels. I got Battlefront themes, where I'm continuing to put out stuff from Star Wars, stuff from DC, Marvel, other franchises. There's some more I want to do on that channel, but I've been working at my internship this semester, so it's been taking out a lot of my time. And on my main channel, I got some big things planned for that, for my main channel to come out. I actually just barely finished streaming the complete saga for Lego Star Wars, and definitely want to start streaming the Skywalker saga when that comes out next month. We're finally getting it. I'm so hyped for that. But
awesome.
I have more plans. I have a special Hayden Christensen video that I've been trying to work on for like well over a year. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to get it out by the time I want it, because just things have been kind of tough with life lately, but we'll see how that goes. And then I got some other things behind the scenes that I'm working on. But yeah, if you guys are willing, feel free to check out T Money Startwell or Battlefront themes. Really appreciate it.
It's awesome, man. Yeah, I'm excited for you to stream the new Lego Star Wars game. That's gonna be sick.
I can't wait. Especially Attack of the Clones. Like, can't wait to see, because they're actually doing a lot of levels that weren't in the original. So I'm very excited to see.
It's awesome, Mr. Strike.
Yeah, I mean, let me plug my 5 channels real quick. One with 10,000. No, I'm kidding. Barely, like 250. No,
hey, that's something.
That's something. No, I appreciate every single one of those guys. Lego Star Wars in general. I mean, you see some of the stuff there. Yeah, just like some fun stuff talking about collecting Lego. I'm trying to stay consistent with my Lego figure reviews. We just had our latest Talking Bricks podcast / stream. Really fun stuff, so if you want to check that out, that was really fun. We are planning on actually doing that long planned Lego building a lightsaber stream on May the 4th. We're trying to actually make that happen. So that's going to be, I think, a cool one. And yeah, probably also going to stream a bit of Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga, pretty sure. But yeah, would appreciate if you guys would stop
you gotta
by.
go check it out.
Stop.
That's awesome. Mr. Aiden, I put your new one, Skateboard Films, in there for you. Some sick stuff there, man.
So yep, my channel, go check out Skateboard Films. Really appreciate it. I don't really talk a lot of Star Wars on there, not even gonna lie. I'm gonna get to Star Wars eventually. I definitely plan to talk about those movies, but if you want some pretty deep dives into some different kind of movies, and right now we're working on a short film, and yeah.
In other words, if you're looking for some really fire content, go check it out.
Some really cool video essays that you've premiered on movies.
Pretty much.
Where at first when I would watch them, I'm like, cool. I'm like, it's gonna be like 5 minutes. I'm like, dang, this is like intense. It's legit. It's a incredible video essay channel, man. I like it a lot.
I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's my channel. I'd appreciate it if you could all check it out, or don't. I mean, it's all to you guys.
The don't is not an option. Don't listen to it.
There is no try, only do.
Yeah. And Matt, when are you starting your channel?
No channel. Who has time?
He lives rent free in my channel.
I was gonna say I have more fun on everyone else's channel. It's like the old analogy, right? You can just visit with other people's kids, and you can go on to the next house. I just feel like I go on everyone else's channel. Like, well, bye.
When we are all grown up, he'll start his channel.
You totally are like the fun uncle. You just get to like pop in and you're like, yeah, see ya, and then I don't have to take care of the kids. See ya.
Make a mess, and then I let someone else clean it up, and I go on to the next house, right?
Oh yeah, that's awesome. But you're on all sorts of places. It's always awesome getting to talk to you and see you there. Somehow you mod and talk at the same time. I don't know how you do that.
I know, right? It's amazing.
Yeah.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many paths.
Some consider.
Well, Avela, I feel it's like 5, 7, 8 in the morning. I don't know what time it is for you.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. But you have an incredible channel, and you've been so polite and so quiet this whole time. Now's your time to let us know. I seriously love your channel. Not just for your dad. I love your content, and then your dad's like
mainly for her dad.
Mainly for you and your content.
Channel.
Your dad did
Everyone
take
just
over.
wants dad videos now.
But tell us about your channel. We put the link in there.
Yeah, well, I do all sorts of like creative projects and things like that. But well, I've been taking a bit of a time out currently because I need to figure some things out because these videos take way too long to make. Need to have time for some other things as well. But yeah, everyone's welcome to come and check out my channel unless you're gonna call me Swedish or unless you don't like Ponkrell.
Oh man.
I hate to break it to you, Ponkrell lost the quotation of today against cut.
He lost quite handedly. He lost.
Oh, she's out.
There she goes.
Into the abyss.
Damn.
Hey, he beat Clovis though, so.
Well, that's not saying much.
True. Mr. Magnino Alex, last but definitely not least.
Hello. I have had quite a history on my channel because I've been around since 2013, and it's been a whole bunch of weird things. But what it's been for the past, I think, 2 years now has been my exploration through the old canon of Star Wars, which was the expanded universe, now redubbed Legends. And I have been going through that because, of course, I was not the biggest fan of the sequels. And so I decided to see what the other universe was like before Disney, and I've been enjoying my time with it. I started from the very beginning last year, and I've reached the dark times now, and so I'm very depressed pretty much every second that I read anything because it can get dark. And it's been a journey, and so I just go and review all that stuff all the time, and it just keeps piling up on my channel. I read it twice a week. There's something up. So that's pretty much.
I always love seeing, because you always like put in like the artwork that they have, like the artwork for those novels or comics. Oh, it's just so good.
To be fair, I got that from another YouTuber, but he does not mind that I use it.
Nobody needs to know that. It's awesome.
I'm honest, like Anakin, you see, so that's why I'll get a Padme one day.
Your subscribers will fall in love with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
What I appreciate is that you read from the beginning forward and you're committed to it. My reading pattern is haphazard at best. I'm just all over. I'm like,
well, it's a detriment
here you
too,
go.
because sometimes I want to read something else, but like I have to read in chronological order, so I can't.
Good for you.
Not.
I see. That's why I'm subscribed, so I don't have to endure that. I can let you go through it, and I can just receive from you, and then I'll just like run around like a lab and read whatever I want.
Yeah. That's probably the more fun way of going about it.
Man, but this has been really cool. I'm glad that we can start streaming again, even with YouTube being YouTube. You know, doesn't really matter. We weren't really making any money anyways, so it doesn't really make a difference. But nonetheless, I just love talking Star Wars with all of you guys. This has been super cool. Gonna end the stream here. Go check out the Discord. if you're not in it already, all these awesome people are in there, and you can troll. I was gonna pick on Avella and say you can troll some people about Pong Krell, but please don't. She's endured enough with him losing the poll today.
But let me also like just go about one thing the last time. Can we appreciate for a second that these are still the two people that I know that were just so overly excited and happy about reaching 25 subs. I'm pretty sure was like their first goal, and they couldn't believe it. And now they're at 5,000 subs, and without any drama or like any like smack talking about movies, with only positivity. I think that is worth an applause, honestly.
One of the best parts of this stream.
Literally.
Yeah, thanks. I do appreciate that, you know, and it's and I think Matt put it so well. There's people who like there's people who I would consider more negative that I watch because it's like I want to see some of that stuff, and just for us too, it's like, man, but what, like, let's just try and double down on being positive about it. Sometimes it's hard. Like a Biomes video and a Book of Boba video, probably not going to be super positive, but you know, yeah, nonetheless, you know, that's what we're trying to do, and just having fun regardless. When we started, I was like, I think we had between like our personal accounts and friends, we had like 5, and I'm like, there's no way 10 people, and we put 25. A friend of ours does like Mario Kart gaming and stuff, and I just literally copy and pasted his sub goals. I'm like, I don't even really know what these are, but it seems like some cool metric. He does it full time, and yeah, then when 25 came around, I'm like, this is so bizarre to me that anybody would care, you know. But no, it's seriously a lot of fun, and if you're not in the Discord, the whole reason is not to just grow the Discord. You get connected to them and their channels and the other Discords, and then you find out there's like a ridiculous amount of people passionate about Star Wars, that there's this huge web of them, and they're all connected. It's super cool. But all right, well, I'm gonna end this. You guys are all awesome.
Thank you.
Subscribe to the Patreon.
Oh,
Yes.
Thanks so much, man.
Take good
Thank you
care.
so much for having me
I
on.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You guys deserve